Live from the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants Podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man. It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ. Welcome to the Drunken Peasants Podcast. I am Ben, and I really am Ben, no matter what TJ says.
I'm TJ.
Why would I say anything otherwise?
Oh, I don't know, TJ. Why would you?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
I am TJ. I am an idiot. No one likes me.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Will you
Hold on. No, I have a surprise for you.
Don't even do it. Don't do it.
No, it's a different surprise than usual.
It's your favorite song, TJ. You were just talking about how much you like it.
No, this is your favorite song.
Yeah.
No, fuck you.
Ben is the #1 John Cena fan.
Can't see me, Ben.
When you went to that wrestling event, were you dreaming about him throwing you his hat?
Yeah.
Or one of his sweaty armbands?
I wanted that.
If you'd have caught a sweaty armband, you'd have put it in your mouth, correct?
Let's go.
I would have wringed all the fucking sweat out of it and drank it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's no fun when you own it. Fuck you.
TJ,
I know
the
exactly
last
how to deal
dino
with
whore.
that shit. Yeah.
I wish you were more sensitive.
TJ, you're the last dino whore.
I am. That's true.
And
Denver, the last dino-whore.
he's your friend and a whole lot more.
He wants to make you his butt whore.
Yeah, well, like last time we were examining what that meant. You know, he's your friend and a whole lot more.
We're talking about the Denver, the last...
Again.
What is it? Denver, the last dinosaur?
Yeah.
And he's not even depressed about it either. You think, like, he's always smiling and, like, playing with kids. You think he'd be like, man, my family and everyone I ever knew back in the day is fucking dead. That's some deep shit. Denver fucking moves on quick, you know?
Yeah. He's like, whatever.
He's
I
like,
guess
well, I'm
kinda
alive,
like it.
so whatever.
Yeah, I mean, like, that means if all those kids died, Denver just be like, whatever, I'll make new friends. It's cool. I've done it before.
Yeah.
Entire species is gone. Pfft, what are these little piss ants to me? Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can totally just kill them like at will. He's just so much bigger than them.
Well, I think Denver's like an iguanodon or something, so
I think he's poorly drawn.
he is poorly drawn.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
improperly proportioned. But that's okay.
Yeah, and didn't someone
It's just a
send you,
children's cartoon, for fuck's sake,
didn't
Ben.
someone send you a
Jesus
really
Christ.
fucked up picture?
Yeah, they did.
It was like a
Yeah, someone actually, when we were talking about Denver, the last dino whore, I can't even show the picture, but it was like an explicit drawing of Denver fucking like the kids from the show.
Yes.
They were like having a big, weird orgy.
Yeah,
Ben
it was pretty strange.
Ben has seen it. Scotty has seen it. Yeah, just some random fan like, here you go. You talk about this. I just decided to draw it on a whim. I'm like, okay, well that's
Someone wrote,
special.
TJ definitely baked.
That's special.
I think you're definitely baked.
TJ, you're definitely baked.
Okay,
Good job, TJ.
awesome. Do
So-
I get a little button?
Yes.
The definitely baked
Definitely
button?
baked button.
TJ, the last banana whore. Someone wrote that in the chat.
Oh, no one's ever... What are they talking about, TJ?
I don't know.
Bananas.
I never even fucking
Yeah,
Yes.
weird.
conceived of something like that. It's very strange that would even occur to a person.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about Kevin Sorbo.
Kevin Sorbet.
Kevin Sorbet.
It's pronounced Kevin Sorbet.
Sorbet. God, get it right.
Sorry
This is
about that.
first we're just gonna play. This is just to embarrass him before we talk about him.
This is awesome.
We're gonna play this clip. It's a pretty famous clip of Kevin Sorbo, like reading stage direction as though it were dialogue in a very dramatic fashion.
Yeah. So normally, you know, when you're reading a script, it kind of tells you how you're supposed to act, you know.
Yeah, I mean, depending on the screenwriter, but yeah, there's stage directions, there's indicators. It probably said like in parentheses disappointed, but Kevin Sorbo decided to treat that as though it were part of the script.
In all caps.
Probably.
Yeah. So here we go.
Wait a minute. This isn't my world. Disappointed!
I want to point something out too.
That's great.
That's like the evil Hercules from the other dimension or something, and he has a goatee. And this evil
Mirror
atheist,
universe.
and this evil atheist professor in this movie has a goatee as well.
It's mirror universe.
So Kevin,
Hercules.
like in Kevin Sorbo's mind, he's like, okay, Kevin, you're going to be playing an evil character.
Oh,
He's
shit.
like, oh shit, better
Goatee.
grow my goatee. I look very evil with a goatee.
That's kind of like in the first episode of the Mirror Universe Star Trek in the original series.
Goatees are the official beards of evil.
They show Spock, and you know he's evil because he has a goatee. They like close up on his face, and it's like Spock with a goatee, and it
like,
plays
oh,
like, dun,
shit.
dun,
Facial
dun.
hair, evil.
Evil Spock.
Yes.
Fuck.
All right, so we're
All
gonna
right, bitches, now you know you fuck, because you fucking with evil Spock. Oh!
we're gonna play a clip.
This is Kevin Sorbo on Bill O'Reilly.
Yes, plugging the movie God's Not Dead.
Yes, and Bill O'Reilly is about to fillet Kevin Sorbo publicly.
Oh God, cover your so big.
It's going to be
No,
a
he's
beautiful...
fair and balanced, and he asks the tough questions. Come on.
Okay.
Story segment tonight, new
Gotta turn
film
it up.
called God Is Not Dead, and its star.
I just want to point
Sorbo.
out that if you're making
Will be open to
movies
a few
like, you know, like this movie like already takes the defensive position, you know, just like with its title. God's not dead. That's like a big fat dude being like, I'm not
Dude,
fat.
this fucking movie's a total scam. It was made for $2 million, and now it's made like $50 million.
Well, it's not like a scam, really. I mean,
Yeah, it is because
It's like a pyramid scheme movie.
dude, it fucking seriously is because it just preys upon like the dumbest people. Like, this movie defends your religion.
There's a bunch of movies like that right now. The one about the kid that went to heaven.
Yeah, and they're all making a bunch of money too. It's a total fucking scam.
heaven is real.
We're going to talk about that later. too.
my grampy.
Theaters last week was a huge hit. Today it expands across the country. Film's premise is summed up by this clip.
I'm Professor Radisson. This is philosophy.
Radisson.
Radigan.
I know, right? I mean, like, didn't even try. Why didn't they just name him Professor McEvil?
They should have gave him like the Snidely Whiplash mustache, like that he could twirl in his finger.
Dude,
like,
that'd been awesome.
There is no God.
5-0. I would like to bypass senseless debate altogether and jump to the conclusion, which every sophomore is already aware of: there is no God. All that I require from each of you is that you fill in the papers I've just given you with 3 little words: God is dead.
These students are fucking stupid. All you have to do to pass is write God is dead. Like,
Yeah.
easiest class ever. Like, okay, God's dead. Thanks.
This is a college level class. That means because like, I wrote God's Not Dead in kindergarten. You know, didn't pass.
You wrote God's Not Dead?
Yeah, I wrote God's Not Dead
Good job.
because I was promoting the film preemptively
Preemptively.
before it was even made.
You're a prophet.
A prophet of things to come.
And joining us from Los Angeles is Mr. Sorbo.
He's
So
already
why should
shaved
I
the
see
goatee.
this
He's in
flip?
good
What am I
mode
going to get
again.
out of this?
You know what? Every movie creates controversy, and certainly this movie will as well. And what you're doing is, again, this.
Did Bedknobs and Broomsticks create controversy?
It probably
Just
did because it
wondering.
had witches in it.
Ooh. Yeah, you're probably right.
This is America, so I mean, like, every movie at this point probably does cause controversy with someone. Because, you know, feminists are like, it does not pass the Bechdel test. So, I mean, like, you know, every movie is going to piss somebody off. That's actually true. Because I first pounced on that statement the first time I heard it, but now that I've actually had time to think about it, yeah, he's right. Pretty much every movie causes
The
controversy.
worst part I've seen is the Duck Dynasty part where they're like, we're going to interview them. And there's like just like this one lone reporter like, so why are you theists, basically? And they're like, we're theists because Jesus is awesome. And they're like, I have no response to that.
Scientific viewpoint from an atheist, but you're also getting the scientific viewpoint from the Christians, and it's like a miniature faith-based movie in a way. When like Crash, remember the movie Crash about 10, 12 years ago, won
Yep.
the best picture.
Yep.
It's got 5 different stories in it that come together at the
He's
very
trying
end.
to
But
equate it
this
to
story,
a movie that won an Academy Award for Best Picture.
Undeservingly, though.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
even,
but-
even still, like, it's not the same caliber of movie. You can just tell by the way it's shot and the acting in it.
It has Kevin Sorbo in it. I mean, that's That he's like the big name draw of the movie.
Yeah,
so.
he's only a fucking draw because this is Fox News.
This is the star of
This is
Hercules: The
bullshit.
Legendary Journeys. We're talking about.
No one
This
gives
is
a
not
shit
like
about Kevin
fucking-
Sorbo. If Kevin Sorbo was an atheist, no one would care. He just is like, well, I'm a Christian, so people are like, good. He was kind of famous for something.
Yeah, I mean, like if you throw like Edward Norton and fucking Sandra Bullock or something in it, then maybe you can be like, this is just like this other movie. But this looks like a made-for-TV movie. That's somehow inexplicably being brought to big screens, and then even more inexplicably, people are actually paying money for it.
Like a Lifetime original, almost.
My battle with this
Christ-time
freshman
original.
student who wants to prove God to me in my class is obviously the anchor of the story.
All right, so you play the atheist professor, and the student, the younger actor, he plays the person who doesn't, who wants to promote a belief in God. Okay, that's interesting because that goes against type. Because in your real life, you are a believer, correct?
I love how he's just like walking him through it step by step.
Yeah, it's like
So you
here,
do believe, right?
Bill's like, let me hold your hand and guide you through the process.
You're
of
really
being
not
on
an
my
evil.
show.
You're not really an evil atheist, are you? Oh no.
You're playing against type because you actually are a believer. He's like, oh yes, that's true. I am.
Kevin Sorbo, Shakespearean actor.
I am a believer, there's no question. I know it's shocking for people to find out that there are actually atheists in our universities, but yes, there are. And what's great at the end of this movie, there's 37 cases that they show with the university and student that people can freeze frame when they get the DVD and they can go check it out online for
No,
themselves.
there's no doubt. I mean, you know, we've been reporting that for years, that academia is rife with secularism and anti-religious
Rife with
sentiment.
secularism.
Now, you're involved with this movie not as an
That's
actor,
disgusting.
but you're involved with the production and everything else. Did you get resistance in Hollywood from?
It's kind of funny because there's so many prominent religious universities out there that are not secular at all.
No. Those options are not available. The only thing these poor Christian families can do is send their kids to the big bad atheist schools.
Do you remember when we were doing the video and
They
like,
try
we
to
found-
disabuse them of their faith.
They had a university that was they were screening it for, and it was Liberty University.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can go to
So, I mean,
you can go to
that's
Jerry
bullshit.
Falwell's bullshit school if you want. I mean, you know, I'd
But there's BYU.
if I was hiring, I'd probably wipe my ass with a degree from there. But you know,
BYU,
there's plenty
Notre
of Christian
Dame.
businessmen to hire you too.
yeah.
From
You
this
got a
film?
good
Or this
religious
film?
education, right?
You know, it's not really resistance
Yeah, I'm
from
gonna
this
pray to
particular film.
fix
I've
the
been getting
company's
resistance for a long
finances.
time from it. My manager has told me many times that for me standing up from my political points of view and coming on shows like yours, and I've been on Hannity and things, and where
So is he just admitting that he stands up for his political points of view? Is he putting politics and religion together? Fine. That's bullshit. I don't know what happened. Let's see. Well, we're back on. Yeah, well, whatever. Fuck. We got disconnected.
Anyway, so Kevin Sorbo, I don't know if he's already said it in this interview, but at some point he's going to say that he doesn't proselytize, which is untrue. I mean, he's made this movie, which he partially financed himself and was involved intimately in the production of, which is a piece of proselytizing. It's definitely a movie that has a certain agenda that's trying to convince you of a certain viewpoint.
This is definitely Christian propaganda.
I mean, he comes on shows like The O'Reilly Factor and Sean Hannity preaching, not necessarily preaching, but definitely advocating for, you know, religion. So I don't think he can make any sort of intellectually valid claim of, I don't proselytize. Kevin Sorbo, I'm disappointed!
He's not unbiased. Like, he's trying to portray himself now.
He's as unbiased as Fox News.
Yeah, to say not at all.
He's a denizen of the Fox Newsiverse.
it's a backlash to me. I've noticed this year, I don't know, there were probably 50, 60 different pilots between all the cable and all the networks. I read for one. I got into read for one. I used to read for 10, 12 a year. Look, I had Hercules. It was the most watched TV show in the world for 7 years.
My
I had
career is
Andromeda,
not as strong as it
5 years,
used to
most
be.
number
It
one
must be
syndicated
tied
show
to
in
my
America.
beliefs.
And then I've done about 50 movies since then, but most of them are in that
No
smaller,
actors
independent
ever
world, which is
fade
fine.
for no reason.
You
He's
know,
done
Hollywood
50
owes me
movies.
nothing. I've been
Okay.
very fortunate. There are many actors
Besides
that would love
this
to have the career
movie,
I've had.
have you
But
guys
do I
seen him
see
in
a
any other
kickback
movies?
from it? And have I
Yeah,
heard,
name one other movie
the
Kevin
hatred and the
Sorbo
anger
is
comes
in.
back towards me for actually having a different point of view in a city that claims tolerance? Yeah, it's definitely come back to bite me.
Okay. Okay, but it isn't that you are that right wing. I mean, I don't think. I'm not seeing anything really crazy
Bill O'Reilly
here.
says Kevin Sorbo is not that right wing.
Yeah,
He's not that right wing.
He's so persecuted. Poor Kevin Sorbo.
You know, there's
so bad for him being.
There's
a
something
millionaire.
funny that Bill O'Reilly's about to say that almost makes it sound like he implicitly thinks that he is a nut. That like he almost implicitly describes himself that way. If you just play this clip for a second.
All right.
You vote for both Democrats and Republicans. You are not evangelizing or proselytizing.
No.
So what is it?
Not at all.
What is it that you do that has annoyed the Hollywood chieftains?
It's not quite yet, actually.
Well, Bill, I think you know this. I mean, you've heard it from many other actors, and from the John Voight's out there, and Kelsey Grammer's, the kickback that they even receive, and they're big stars. Even if you're an independent.
Kelsey Grammer played the same fucking character on TV for like 20 years.
20 years. In Cheers and then in Frasier.
Yeah, what else?
Both of which went for 11 seasons.
Right, and Frasier was a spin-off of Cheers.
Right, yes.
So it's
he played the same character for 20 years.
Not a big star by today's standards.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, I mean, I would say that his career has definitely flagged. I mean, I don't know if that show that he's in was this like Boss or something.
Never heard of it.
Yeah.
Voter.
It's not Game of Thrones.
Guy I'm not sitting on the fence, but I look at both sides. I vote with my heart, my mind, my gut. I actually look at people, weigh the pros and cons, who's going to be best for this country. But so many people,
no one else does
in
that,
this industry,
just Kevin
they
Sorbo.
vote with anger, they vote maybe out of fear, they vote with just, people outside the industry vote for who's going to give me more stuff. I mean, you know that. You
all right,
report
so
this
if you're
stuff all
not
the time.
cheerleading for the Democratic Party or the liberal point of view, if you're not actively cheerleading, then your opportunities are cut down. And I believe that. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, look, I'm in the same business you're in now as a producer. Luckily, we have a very, very good system for my books. But we've had, discussions with other people, big name stars. And I know I'm not going to name them now, but believe me, I could at any moment. You know who you are.
I'm a big name star. I'm a big name star in my mind. But anyway, speaking of books,
they
you're talking
wouldn't.
about God. I got to push this. I'm going to push this. It's my wife's book, Proving the Existence of God. It's called The Answer. So check it out. And this goes hand in hand with this movie right here to prove the existence of God.
Okay, now let me just wrap up my thought.
Buy my snake oil.
A person in Hollywood,
And buy my wife's snake oil.
All right, hear that it's business with me. All right, they don't want to do that. Because their cocktail party invitations decline. It's a social thing as much as an ideological thing. But with you, I think it's crazy because you're just not a nutty kind of guy.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like, with you, it's crazy because you're not a nutty kind of guy. It's like, well, are you saying that you are? Because, I mean, that's what he's contrasting, and he's saying, like, well, he's comparing and contrasting himself and him about, like, oh, people don't want to talk to me because they'll cocktail invitations will go down. But you're not a nutty guy. It's like, well, so you're saying you are? I think Bill O'Reilly just kind of tacitly admitted that he's a nutty fucking guy.
This is a total bullshit line of dialogue. Like, your cocktail invitation went down. It's like, okay, people that obviously don't agree with Kevin Sorbo and don't like him are not going to invite him to parties. I'm sure there's plenty of conservative assholes that will invite Kevin Sorbo to their cocktail parties.
I don't see a lot of conservatives like, hey, don't forget to invite the hippies to our big soiree.
Yeah, exactly. It's just ridiculous.
And you're not that far out there. So what's the name of your wife's book again, just so you're happy when you go? Because I don't want Hercules mad at me. Go ahead.
It is called The Answer.
The Answer, okay.
And
Bill is just like the most accommodating fucking guy ever to Kevin Sorbo.
Oh, Kevin, you're great.
Why don't you hold your wife's book up again? I want everyone to see.
That pile of
The
shit.
movie is God, not dead.
Hold that pile of
Sorbo.
shit in
Thank
front
you.
of America's face. Let him get a good strong whiff. And this is are we playing the Bill O'Reilly?
Yeah.
This is just for illustrative purposes because I want people to see how different Bill O'Reilly's behavior is when he has an atheist on the show.
Yeah, or anyone who disagrees with him.
Right.
I should have mentioned Senator Schumer's book is called Positively American. In the personal story segment tonight, do you believe in God? Increasingly, fewer Americans do.
Oh, no.
According to a Pew poll, 12% of us do not have a belief in a higher power, up from 8% in 1987, and that group includes agnostics. In Europe, the rise of atheism and of Gnosticism is stunning. According to a Zuckerman
struggled
study in Sweden,
with that
it's
word
more
quite a
than
bit.
85% of the
Stunning.
population
He probably
are
started to say
non-believers. Japan,
Gnosticism.
65%, France 54%,
Gnostic-
and in Britain
Goulash.
44% do not believe in
Nothing.
God in Great Britain. Listen now, as a man who
Nationalism,
understands
yeah.
that position, Richard Dawkins, the author of
Here's
the
some
mega-selling
smart
book,
atheist, fucking
The
asshole.
God Delusion.
Piece of
I think
crap.
it takes more faith to be like you, an atheist, than like me.
Deaf right now, you can tell.
The physiometrics of the curriculum. I understand.
I understand science. I'm smart.
The physiology.
You know, you sit there with your beakers and your test tubes and your Tesla coils laughing maniacally in your laboratory, and that's fine. That's all good.
It's laboratory, TJ.
In Dexter's laboratory.
And that is the leap of faith that you guys make, that it just happened.
Well,
Richard Dawkins is like blinking like a lizard. He's like, okay, shit, what the fuck is this guy talking about?
Yeah.
It's all about faith. Your faith in science. Faith.
I just got
you
stupid
don't
listening
actually
to you.
need a leap of faith. You're the one who needs a leap of faith because you are actually the onus is on you to say why you believe in something. There's an infinite number of gods you could believe in. I take it you don't believe in Zeus or Apollo or Thor. You believe in presumably the Christian God, Jesus.
See, Jesus was a real guy. I could see him.
Yeah.
You know, I know
Where?
what he did.
Where did you see Jesus?
Where did you
You weren't there.
Bill, where the fuck did you
He's
see
a real
Jesus?
guy. I can see it happening.
He's
you
a
know?
real guy. I can see him.
Because you know, real people walk on water and come back from the dead all the time.
I'm personally going with Zeus.
Zeus was awesome.
I'm gonna do Odin.
Odin.
Okay.
Yeah, but who could kick whose ass, Odin or Zeus?
Well, Odin was pretty badass, and he was the only god that I can think of that ever got fucked in the ass. So, because he was actually there's a piece of like Norse mythology where Odin is actually raped. So that's pretty cool. He comes back from that.
He's walking a little different, but he came back.
Yeah,
from
you
it.
know, he didn't let it fucking slow him down, you know? A lot of guys, that would have fucking taken the air out of their tires, but, you know, not fucking Odin. He's a
And
go-getter.
so I'm not positive that Jesus is God, but I'm throwing in with Jesus rather
the
than
leap of
throwing in
faith.
with you guys because
Well, that
you
sounds
guys
like a
can't
hymn.
tell me.
I'm not positive that Jesus is God, but I'm throwing in with him.
It's almost like a bet at a casino, like all on Jesus.
I'm throwing in on Jesus to win.
All on Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Come on, Jesus. Big Jesus, no
Oh,
whammy.
sorry, it was Islam. You're
Ah,
going
fucking
to
Allah.
hell.
Damn it. Can I try again?
I knew a guy named Jesus, and I asked him, "Does anyone ever accidentally like read your name and call you Jesus?" And he was like, "All the fucking time."
I would do it.
Hey, Jesus.
Even if he was like, it's actually Jesus, I'd be like, no.
Whatever, Jesus.
No.
It's funny, like how
J's are hard in America. Sorry, no. You're Jesus.
in
buddy.
Anglo culture, like English-speaking culture, no one is named Jesus. But you know, in Hispanic culture, there's tons of people named Jesus.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
If I ever have a kid, I'm going to name him God.
How it all got here. You guys don't know.
We're working on it. Physicists are
Oh,
working.
when you get it, then maybe I'll listen.
Yeah, well, no.
Oh, when you get it,
if you look at
brother.
the history of science over the centuries,
Yeah.
the amount that's gained in knowledge each century is stupendous. In the beginning of the 21st century, we don't know everything. We have to be humble. We have to, in humility, say that there's a lot that we still don't know.
And, you know, being humble is a Christian virtue.
Well,
So there you go.
Of course it is.
All right, when you guys figure it out, then you come back.
It's
Yeah,
amazing
'cause-
how smugly he says that. What a fucking irony.
And it's funny-
You know, humility is actually a Christian virtue.
Which is funny because I see so much humility.
Yes,
from
Bill O'Reilly.
Christians.
When I think Bill O'Reilly, too, I think humility. Old Humble Bill.
Isn't that his nickname? Humble Bill?
Yeah.
That's what I thought it was.
Humble Bill.
Here and tell me, because until that time, I'm sticking with Judeo-Christian philosophy and my religion, Roman Catholicism, because it helps me as a person.
That's different. If it helps you, that's
absolutely.
great.
And
But
I'm
that doesn't
sticking
mean
it.
it's true.
Well, it's true for me. You see, I believe
You
it.
mean true for you is different from true for anybody else? How
Yeah,
can something be
absolutely,
true for you?
because I can't
Something's
prove-
either got to be true or not.
I can't, no. I can't prove to you that Jesus is God. So that truth is mine and mine
do not
alone.
have facts
But
to
you
back
can't
this
prove to
up.
me that Jesus is not. So you have to stay in your little
You can't
belief
prove
system.
that Zeus is
Your
not.
little
You can't
belief
prove that Apollo
system.
is not.
Well,
I saw Apollo, man. He was down there. He's not looking good. Now, we also differ in the sense.
What the fuck?
I thought about him, man. He's down there. He's not looking good. It's like, okay, that's...
Did he like literally run out of things to say?
That's-
So that's like
why didn't you just go, well, nah. I mean, if that's the level of... Apollo's fucking... He fucked
well,
up.
my dad can beat up your dad. You know?
Too
is that you
classic.
feel that religion has been a bane, B-A-N-E, to civilization. And I feel
You know, I used to hear it a lot as I
I'm
was a kid too. I don't know if you're. Kids used to be like, there used to be some kids in my school like, well, my dad's a lawyer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they'd be like, well, my family's gonna sue you.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I remember that kind of shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
point to the worst mass murderers in
God, here we go.
modern times.
Pol Pot,
Hitler, Stalin, Mao, and Pol Pot. All confirmed atheists.
Pol Pot.
All people who wanted
Hitler was
to
not a
wipe out
confirmed
religion.
atheist. That's
Now, I know you
bullshit.
can point to the Crusades and you can point to Al-Qaeda.
Dude, even if
right
you go to
now.
the Wikipedia article, they're all like, Hitler hated religion. I'm like, okay, well, I don't understand. Like, they say, like, oh, people close to Hitler knew he hated religion. I'm like, okay, well, his public persona didn't hate religion.
Exactly. And I like how just a second ago he tried to be like, well, you can also point to the Crusades and, you know, it's like
Crusades and
what?
witch trials,
The
Children's
Children's Crusade, which basically ended with them being sold into slavery to Muslims.
Well,
Hey, no big deal.
that was probably the plan to begin with, and that was why the Catholic Church started molesting boys with such zeal, because they're like, man, them Muslims aren't going to get all our fucking kids. This is bullshit.
I like how Dawkins looks like he's asleep right now.
Dawkins is
Bill
like-
O'Reilly put him to sleep.
That's awesome. He's like, gotta take a little bit of a nap.
I mean, it's there, and
Sounds
there's no
alright.
question. But I say that I'm thrown in with the founding fathers of the United States, which
No, you're not.
saw religion, spirituality as a moderating influence, as a good thing if people embrace the true tenets. Go
The
ahead.
founding fathers of the United States were secularists above all. So some of them were religious, some of them were not, but they were above all secularists who believed in keeping church and state
They had to
separate.
because of the oppression in Europe.
That was what they were,
Right.
precisely.
But
that
Because of
was
the
all-
oppression in
all-
Europe.
Who was causing the oppression
Yeah,
in
he
Europe?
just defeated his own argument because they were oppressed elsewhere.
By who? Atheists? Were atheists oppressing them? Is that who?
Yeah, give me a
'Cause
fucking break.
It wasn't like England was like, we are a secular nation, all religious people out. No, that's not how it happened.
Wow.
That's not how it went down.
All of them. They all said a prayer before their deliberations. In their letters, and I have almost all their letters, they all reference the deity. Our Declaration of Independence references heavily. But they saw it as a moderating influence because the federal government at that point couldn't control the country. And they said, if
yeah.
people follow Jesus, then the country's going to be better.
It may well be a moderating influence. As for Hitler and Stalin and so on, I mean, of course, Hitler, by the way, was a Roman Catholic.
No, he
And
never was. He was raised in that home,
Yeah, well,
but he rejected it early on.
No, he fucking.
Oh, he rejected it early on, even.
Okay, well, he doesn't reject it in Mein Kampf. He doesn't reject it in his political speeches. He doesn't reject it in his political rhetoric. So how did he reject it exactly?
He just did, TJ.
Maybe in his private, I don't know. Maybe in Hitler's private life he did reject
Yeah,
it.
and also-
but his public persona certainly did not.
I mean, the guy was from Austria. Not a Roman Catholic country at that time by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, obviously there were still Catholics there, but I mean, there's a ton of Protestants in those countries too, like Germany and Austria. So it's just
the whole Lutheran movement started.
That's what I'm saying. So it's kind of a ridiculous thing to be like, no, he wasn't Catholic. It's like actually being Catholic there would probably be at some point a detriment.
But even if he wasn't Catholic, the chances of him being any Christian denomination is pretty high.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I like the point Dawkins is about to make here about Hitler and Stalin, because I've seen this video before and he makes a pretty good point here.
We can dispute that. Stalin was an atheist, no question. But Stalin did the bad things he did, not because he was an atheist. I mean, Hitler and Stalin both had moustaches, but we don't say it was their moustaches that made them evil.
I don't.
Bill's
That's awesome.
that's the embarrassed face of someone who's like, yeah, I'm pretty stupid.
think they had any moral foundation, any of those guys. I will
I
say,
don't either.
your book is fascinating, and congratulations on your success. Thanks for coming on in here.
Anyway, the
Thank you
main
very
reason
much
we
indeed.
played that was just to show the difference in Bill O'Reilly. Like Kevin Sorbo,
Softball
Kevin, can I have a
question.
reach around?
then when Richard Dawkins is on, it's like,
You're mean. You don't know anything. You're dumb.
yeah. So that's pretty much that.
Yeah. Next, we're going to talk about an NBA team owner.
And I just to preface, because I know Galen will be like, "Can't believe you showed that piece of shit Richard Dawkins on your fucking show." Like, just because I showed his clip does not mean I necessarily agree with everything Richard Dawkins has ever said.
You agree with everything, TJ. Come on.
Yeah, it's okay.
Richard Dawkins Jr., that's what we call TJ
Don't
here.
fucking sick Galen on me, you piece of shit. I don't need that. I don't need that in my life.
We'll bring Galen on later.
Oh, man. Galen.
Oh, okay. Apparently, someone said that Austria actually is really Roman Catholic, and it's true. So actually, it even makes even more sense to what we were saying that he was Roman. Hitler was Roman Catholic.
Cool. Smoke weed every day. So this is about well, people probably already have heard of this, but this is well, I forget his fucking name.
Yeah, I mean, who even cares what his name is, honestly?
This fucking racist dude who owns the Clippers. Let's play the clip.
Yeah.
Let's play the
National
Clippers.
Basketball Association, the NBA, says it is now investigating recorded remarks allegedly made by LA Clippers owner Donald Sterling. The remarks obtained by the website TMZ include a voice disparaging African Americans and telling his girlfriend to stop bringing black people to Clippers games.
Which is funny because how many players on the Clippers are black? I mean,
probably most.
Oh yeah,
I would say
definitely.
All. I mean, like fucking effectively all of them.
This is just pure observation. If you watch a basketball game, you know there's usually about one white guy on each team playing at any given time.
On basketball teams, there's a token white guy.
Yeah, basically.
Pretty much,
it's like, you know, you're the token white guy on the team so that the white people don't feel left out.
It's pretty much because I would argue just by watching like FIBA, which is the World Championships of Basketball, the U.S. wins almost every year. So I would say we have the best basketball players in the world that play in the U.S. and in the NBA. And it just shows that, for whatever reason, on average, black people are better at playing basketball than white people or pretty much any other race.
That's racist.
It's just, I mean, you just look at it and you can't deny it, you know? So I don't think it's racist to say that they're better.
You can't, no, even positive stereotypes are bad.
Oh, okay. Well, it's
you're not down with how PC we've become.
Oh, okay.
You can't even positive.
Among the comments, Sterling is
that's
allegedly
like Asian
heard
people
telling
are
his
like, you know, not all Asian people are good at math. That's an unfair stereotype.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, maybe you should just roll with it.
Yeah, I'd roll with that one. You know, I'm really
I'm
good at
fucking
math.
smart as shit. Whatever.
Yep.
Friend, it bothers me a lot that you want to broadcast that you are associating with black people.
This is the letter that he wrote to his girlfriend who is partially black.
It's not a letter. It's a recording.
A recording. Oh, okay.
She basically pulled out her phone and started recording him halfway through an argument.
An alleged recording.
Alleged recording.
Yeah.
Do you have to? Also, you can sleep with black people. You can bring them in. You can do whatever you want. The little I ask you is not to promote it on that, and not to bring them to my games.
I like how he threw in well, you can sleep with them even if you want to.
Yeah, it's a very strange statement to make.
This guy is insane.
I think he, for some reason, he's I don't know. It's just that it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. There's a very strange psychological place that these sort of statements are coming from that goes beyond just simple racism. Because, I mean, like, okay, first of all, the girl he's talking to is, his girlfriend is half black, half Hispanic. So, obviously, if he's, like, so racist, it's not stopping him from being with her. But, I mean, and he seems like he's not really, he's not really against what's happening behind closed doors, but then there's this weird notion that, like, you can't be seen with them publicly, like what? I mean, like, what is that going to do? I don't understand how, like, that even makes any sense. Like, if he was just a plain and simple racist, that wouldn't, I mean, like, he would just be against it at all, right? But, I mean,
there's a lot of weird shit going on.
There's something more going on here that just is compellingly twisted.
Well, this is obviously cherry-picked by this woman to further her lawsuit.
Well, sure.
I mean, of course, that's too. I mean, I'm not going to defend his.
There's probably other parts of the tape where he's like, and they can even fuck me too. Like, I know that's in there somewhere. Like, if you want to bring your black friends over, I'll suck their cocks. You could let them fuck me in the ass. I don't know, stuff like that. But just don't post pictures of them in public. That's just weird.
No Instagram pictures.
That Instagram, like, people know you're hanging out with black people, then of course
it's like,
that's going to destroy my reputation with the Klan or something. I don't know.
She's like mixed race and half black. It's like, are you saying she shouldn't hang out with herself almost? I mean, like, I don't know where this...
Reject that side.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's very
Also
strange
singles out
things
the
happening
Basketball
here.
Hall of Famer and Los Angeles legend Magic Johnson as one person in particular he doesn't want to see. Magic Johnson has responded on Twitter a lot. He went there. And in his words, he said, quote, LA Clippers owner Donald Sterling's comments about African Americans are a black eye for the NBA. I feel sorry for my friends, Coach Doc Rivers and Chris Paul, that they have to work for a man that feels that way about African Americans. And I would add to that, it's a black mark for America as well. My quote, not his. This is not the first time that Sterling has found himself in the middle of a controversy.
That's
he has
stupid.
That's overkill.
Stupid.
It's not a black mark for America. That's stupid. Shut up. You're wrong. You're
sued
being an idiot
by
now.
the federal government
You're
over
taking
his
it too
treatment of
far.
minorities who wanted to lease his rental properties. He was also sued by former NBA legend and Clippers executive Elgin Baylor for discrimination. I want to bring in now Mark Lamont Hill and get his reaction to all of this. He is a CNN commentator and an associate professor at Columbia University. This guy is an idiot.
This
Mark.
is a dark stain on American history. Like, no, that's too far.
Oh, fuck this guy in the chat. This guy's like, how long has TJ been a KKK Grand Dragon? Fucking idiot.
A KKK Grand Dragon?
Yeah, give me a fucking break.
The KKK took my baby away.
He is a complete idiot, and he's also a racist. And as much as we talk about race and have interesting and complicated conversations about race, I rarely call someone a racist. But I think given his history, the DOJ investigation to his housing discrimination, the words we allegedly have him on tape saying, it is clear to me that he is someone who simply doesn't like or care for black people, unless, of course, they're dribbling a basketball or apparently he's sleeping with them. And so for me, it's very disturbing, and I hope the league does something.
Well, Magic Johnson dribbled basketballs, and he still didn't like him, so that's not accurate. And maybe if it,
but he wasn't doing it for him.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess that. Oh, maybe he was. I'm not sure.
Maybe. Yeah.
I don't really don't know the history of many basketball teams besides like the Bulls.
Yeah, I'm not a basketball player.
Yeah, so
as far as championships go, the Boston Celtics.
Yeah, for sure.
Are the most dominant team.
I've heard of that. I've heard that, but that wasn't that back in the day though.
No. I mean, they won a bunch of championships like within the last 10 years.
I'm against that because I hate the Boston accent.
Okay, well that has nothing to do with anything.
And anyone that has it, fuck you, Boston people.
That's his girlfriend sitting next to him. And I was just dumbfounded that he was saying this to someone who is part black, who he is obviously sleeping with. And it's just none of what he said made any sense. And in fact, it harkens to, I felt like I was listening to someone from the 1930s, 40s, or 50s. It was just, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but it's not surprising. I mean, he's reenacting a very ancient American ritual of white people hating and disparaging black bodies at the same time that they make extraordinary wealth off of them. That's what slavery was predicated upon, right? We hate black people. We call them lazy, but we make them slaves. We have sexual encounters with women.
In this case, his slaves are being paid millions of dollars. So,
yeah, that's not.
I don't know if
bad analogy.
That's a false equivalent.
See, like
sure.
this guy is a racist piece of shit, but like this attempt to like exaggerate the severity of this event and like make it analogous. This is like slavery. Like that's
not analogous.
This
to
is
slavery.
a black smear on American history. This is like
okay. They said Chris Paul. Like I'm gonna say how much money he makes every year. Chris Paul salary, 2014. Okay, Chris Paul made $18 million.
Yeah, I mean, like slaves do not get paid $18 million. Let's just let's just put that out there.
Slaves got paid nothing.
That puts him in the wealthiest 0.001% of Americans almost. So he's not really a slave. Sorry,
not a slave.
Not a slave.
Their bodies, all this stuff is normal, and so for him to have a black girlfriend, I'm not surprised. For him to work around black players and use their labor for money, I'm not surprised. This is not surprising at all.
Well, listen, the guy can date whoever he wants, right? He can do it, but I mean, just to hear what he said, no one is saying anything about, the interracial. I don't want people to misconstrue what you're saying. You're not talking about he can date interracially. That's not the issue. It's just that it's shocking to hear him.
Interracially. I'm not surprised. Some people will be surprised that he dates interracially and still doesn't want black people at the game. I'm saying,
oh no, that doesn't make you any smarter, or any more immune to it just because you date someone who is not of your race, right?
Exactly.
He didn't really say he didn't want black people at the game. He didn't want his wife hanging out with black people publicly.
Yeah, that's what he said.
At
So,
the
I mean-
games, he was like, "Don't bring him to the games
Right.
with you, too."
Yeah, I mean that's what he's saying. Like, but he's not saying like I don't want black people to come to these games. I mean, like he wants the money. So obviously that's not what he's saying. He's saying that he doesn't want his wife bringing them to games because he doesn't want that in his public image, which is ironic because now like there's an intense focus on exactly this because of him trying to control that. So it's an ironic and fitting punishment that in his attempt to not have this drawn attention to, massive attention has been drawn to it.
Yeah. I think, I don't know, if he was like the owner of a hockey team or something like that, maybe people would have ignored it a little more.
True.
I don't know. I just think it's pretty crazy.
I think Black America would have just been like, it's hockey. Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, not really a sport with many black players.
Not many. There have been a few, but they were usually Canadian. So.
And if you're, I mean, well, they don't count as black anymore.
Yes.
The Canadian supersedes black.
That's not true at all.
This does.
Nope.
That's a fact of science. You can't argue with it.
Fact of science. All right, whatever.
I understand the physiology of the situation, dude. So
I understand the history of psychiatry. Do you?
no, it was. I understand the history of psychiatry. You don't.
I'm sorry, you're a Tom Cruise expert. I apologize.
Yeah, defer to the Tom Cruise fucking expert.
I apologize,
bitch.
CJ.
I seen Vanilla Sky 60 times.
That's 60 times too many.
Next, we're going to talk about the kid that was a stowaway on a trans-Pacific flight. Well, not totally trans-Pacific, but across the Pacific to Hawaii. He sat in the landing gear compartment throughout the entire flight.
From San Jose to Maui.
Yeah.
It's a pretty long flight.
Yes. And, those planes go up so high, especially when they're flying over the ocean and they have a long way to go. They go up at such a high altitude that it's freezing sub-zero degree temperatures up there.
You're wrong and a liar. Just want to point that out.
Well, it's interesting that the speculation is that he had a temperature surrounding him of minus 40. I just can't believe that anyone could survive for 5.5 hours at minus 40. And my understanding is that there were no medical
How the fuck
problems
did he
with
get
him
in there?
when
Like,
he
did he
landed,
intend
which
to
means
do
that-
this?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, yeah.
There was a Pulitzer Prize-winning photo from a long time ago of this. This guy took a picture. He was testing out a lens on his camera, and he took a picture of an airplane up in the sky. And when he ended up developing it, he noticed a body falling from the bottom of the plane. And it was a similar story where some kid had stowawayed in the landing gear compartment, but had actually fallen out when the landing gear came out.
Oh, man.
But in this case,
Yeah.
he managed to be able to hold on,
And
which
survive.
is crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
According to
TJ,
my
jiggle your tits,
reports, he had no
please.
frostbite. So my suspicion is
Gotta
that
give the
the
people what they
temperature was
want.
not that low. That it was low. Clearly, it was low, but I can't believe that it would be down to minus 40.
But how do you account for the lack of oxygen, though? I know climbers at Everest, it takes them days to acclimate.
Well, it takes them weeks, actually.
Okay.
And that is a
Well,
very
that's the
good.
reason he's going out in a fucking ambulance, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like he just is like a spry spring chicken, like jogging off the plane, like woo!
Yeah, cabins are pressurized to make sure this doesn't happen.
Yeah, and when they lose the pressure, the oxygen masks fall from the overhead compartment.
Yeah.
Question.
So,
The plane went up and to that elevation probably in about 10 to 15 minutes. It certainly would not have given him enough time to acclimate. And so he probably became unconscious rather quickly at that elevation. And perhaps with the cold, and if it was in the range of 0 to perhaps 30 degrees, then perhaps he went into what we call this slowing down of the machinery state or hibernation that might have protected him and caused him not to need as much oxygen as normally we would if we were exerting ourselves or even sitting here on TV.
Wow, so sort of a hibernation, you think he went into. I was reading some of the studies, the 5 people that survived.
So I want to why would you do this? Just like I don't understand like why anyone would be like, this is an idea.
Probably just
pursue.
a thrill. Probably just like, oh, I wonder if I can get away with it. I wonder if I can do it.
I wonder if he understood what it entailed. I mean, he must not have.
Probably
right?
not.
Like this is like a position of ignorance where you
Fuck
just think,
that.
like,
He wanted to go to Hawaii, and Greyhound doesn't go there.
he's just like, all right, I'm gonna fucking hitch a ride to Hawaii on this plane.
But he doesn't really know where he's going. I mean, it could just be a flight that's going somewhere else. I mean, it could be going to Los Angeles.
No, the plane was Hawaiian Airlines. It says Hawaiian really big on the side of the fucking plane.
Yeah, he wanted to go to Hawaii really bad.
I guess that must be it then. Yeah, because I'm seeing it now. Yeah, I mean, I guess he just wanted to go to Hawaii really bad.
He's
sunny Hawaii.
But I mean, like, I just don't understand. You know, cabins are pressurized. You know that if there's a breach, the oxygen masks come down. Like, wouldn't
He might not know that.
Yeah, I know that.
He might have never flown on a plane before.
Okay, I don't know.
39,000 feet altitudes in wheel wells. Most of them were politically motivated. They were seeking asylum. So there are theories that some people psychologically are just so motivated to survive this. I mean, this kid was running away from home. We don't want to discount that.
So
but do you buy that has anything to do with the will to make it through?
Go to Canada. Go to Mexico. You're running away from home.
Go to your friend's house.
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck? Like, I'm going to start a new life in Hawaii. I don't have any money, so I'll just sneak into the wheel well of this plane.
That's not as bad of an idea as you think, because if you went to Canada or Mexico, if he doesn't speak Spanish, he's going to stick out immediately. If he goes to Canada and it's like, I don't have a social insurance card, I have no identification.
But why did he didn't even have to leave the country, did he? I mean, he could
Well,
have just...
Hawaii is a tropical island. He probably
that's not even leaving the country anyway. I mean,
yeah,
like,
so he probably just figured
so he must have just really wanted to go to Hawaii and be
I'll-
like a beach bum or something.
That's probably his logic.
He probably saw some movie with some girls in hula skirts and was like, "Fuck yeah, that's for me."
Go to Miami.
We need to make. There needs to be a movie made about this kid. You know, like his life and like his adventures until he dies, probably really soon from some other stupid shit.
Well, I'm not sure about the will, but there's certainly some evidence. We're doing some studies on the genetics of who can survive these kinds of hypoxic environments at the Altitude Research Center at the School of Medicine. And we have found that there are some people who are better adapters, who can acclimate much better than others. So perhaps he was lucky in many respects, one of which is that he had the right body composition and genetic composition to survive one of these kinds of extreme conditions.
Possibility of brain damage, though, I'm sure you have to worry about.
Well, there is, with these extreme...
How much was there to damage?
Yeah,
really?
how much
I mean,
was
come
left?
on. I mean, like, you know, this is a guy that the before is him being like, I'm gonna sneak into the wheel well of a plane to hitch a ride to Hawaii.
This has nothing to do with the story, but doesn't the woman on the right look like Dolores Umbridge?
Yes, she does, and it's kind of creepy.
Hypoxic and even hypothermic conditions. There is some issue around the brain losing its architecture and having swelling in cells. And we know from climbers that they have some difficulty when they first come back if they've had some of this brain swelling and with dexterity as well as with some cognitive issues. But that usually goes away. But these climbers have been up in those altitudes for days, not for hours. So it's not very clear exactly what would happen after a 4-hour exposure or 5-hour exposure in this.
Yeah. So he's stupid.
Yeah.
Now, this is a great story.
Yeah, this is fucking crazy.
I laugh, but, you know, it is funny. Even though someone died.
Yeah.
It's just too ironic.
You're a
A
middle-aged
young man was
TJ.
killed in northern Italy on Thursday.
It's not sad. Don't even read it sad. Come on. I mean, it may be sad from, like,
Sad.
this guy died and that's tragic and all that, but, like, this is too ironic to read in that tone of voice. Okay, go ahead.
A 600-kilogram statue erected in honor of Pope John Paul II collapsed and crushed him. Marco Gosmini was killed instantly and one other man taken to hospital. Part of the 30-metre-high sculpture collapsed at a ceremony ahead of the Pope's canonization. St. Paul II and his predecessor, Pope John XXIII, are due to be declared saints on Sunday.
It's part of God's
The
plan.
crucifix commemorates the Pope's visit to the area in 1998.
Apparently the Pope
The
regrets that
installation near
visit.
the town of
He's
Sivo
like, fuck this.
Well, that Pope is now dead.
I wonder, well, I mean, his spirit, though.
Oh, his
because I mean,
spirit.
that's why he was there to pray to him. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna pray to this Pope, and then
I think it was part of God's plan. He's like you're gonna pray to me? Die, bitch! You need to be in heaven with me.
well, it's a Catholic. They don't just pray to God. They pray to like a bunch of saints and shit. They have heaven's like a department there. You know, they got like different saints for different shit.
Yeah, patron
Yeah.
saints of everything you can imagine.
So this guy was there to pray to Pope John Paul or whatever.
Pope John Paul II.
John Paul II, and fucking this.
Who's the patron saint of cocaine?
I just really like Pope John Paul II. I pray for a long life.
Saint Tony Montana.
Saint Tony. I like that.
Designed as a large curved cross with a statue of Jesus Christ weighing 600 kilograms fixed to the top. A group of children was reported to be in attendance at the time.
Awesome.
The cross was designed
I
by
hope the
sculptor
children were spattered with blood and screaming.
Enrico Job and was created for John Paul II's visit to nearby Brescia. The two popes will be declared saints at the Vatican on Sunday.
Maybe not now.
It's
Maybe
not the
this is a
first death
sign that
caused by a
God does
falling
not
crucifix
want
in
that,
Italy.
you know?
In 2004, the Association...
Yeah, is this divine intervention?
I think God's like, no, this Pope sucked. Don't fucking make him a saint. Fuck you. I'm going to kill people until you realize this is a mistake.
I think that's a revelation that you just had, TJ.
Yes. I think I am a divine interpreter
You
of
are
God's
now...
will.
G-Man was right. You are now the amazing Christian.
The amazing Christian.
The amazing
The press reported that a 72-year-old woman had been crushed to death by a 7-foot-tall metal crucifix in the town of St. Onoforio in the south of the country.
Jeez.
Can't these fucking people build crucifixes? They don't just fall over or collapse?
Build smaller ones, guys.
Yeah, maybe a little bit smaller. Not the size that
Yeah,
kill people.
the Bible kind of says the faith thing should be like more of a private affair anyway, so maybe stop with that. You know, I'm just saying, like, other monuments do not collapse all the time. This reminds me of the time that big Jesus, they call it like the big butter Jesus in Ohio. And it's like this big, it was like this big statue of Jesus that looked like it was made out of butter because it was yellow.
Yeah.
And then it was struck by lightning. And
Yeah, I
burned.
remember that. And it caught on fire and burned down.
Like, I just love that because obviously God, if he exists, was just telling them to go fuck themselves. And that's a beautiful thing.
Next, we're going to go with someone that we get a lot of requests for.
Who? Oh, it's SE Suck. Great.
I feel bad for Obamacare. It's like the Mets, constantly in a rebuilding year. Everyone's talking about and focused on who signed up. Is it the right mix of people? Do we get enough young people?
What is with the text appearing on the screen as she talks? Like, I can understand what she's saying.
She needs subtitles.
I can understand what she's saying. I don't need the big block text appearing next to her for emphasis.
If we had subtitles, it would actually be like what she was really getting after, and what she was really saying, which would be a lot more interesting.
Yeah, we should do our own version of an SE Cup thing where like things that are actually relevant pop up.
On to support everyone else?
Like,
are the
are
people
you
signed
kidding
up
me,
actually
bitch?
paying for health care? I'm actually looking at the report card that's going to come out in November of 2014. We'll have a verdict. And
With the subtitles, they should have her like talking like Greedo or Jabba the Hutt or something like that.
Yeah.
the verdict will
Or
be
when
from the
Leia
American
was fucking in the bounty hunter costume and it was all, you know, I can't do it, but it's pretty awesome.
people in the form of those midterm elections. The problems with Obamacare are all known. The bungled website.
I just
the
love this,
website
like,
glitch-
the moving goalpost that they have with Obamacare. Like, you'll never get enough people to sign up. All right, enough people signed up, but fuck, there's all these other problems.
Yeah, the website. The fact that a website didn't work.
Like, okay, I mean, the website not working was a pretty big deal, but, like, it's been made into such a bigger deal than it was that at this point I don't even give a shit anymore.
is. I think all of that is explained usually by Democrats by saying, well, look, it's a big program. It's going to take a while to iron out all the kinks. Well, sure, but timing is not on your side. This is a midterm election year, which is traditionally better turnout for Republicans who already ran successfully against Obamacare in 2010. So this is the worst time to be Obamacare.
Okay.
It's the worst time to be Obamacare?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, she said she felt sorry for Obamacare, too.
It's a person in her mind. Obamacare is like an entity unto itself.
Not Obamacare. I don't like him. He's a backstabbing
I feel
bitch.
bad for anything that would try to improve American society and quality of life at all. God, I hate it.
Hi, everybody. I'm Obamacare. I want to help everyone get insured and make sure insurance companies don't fuck you over.
We're
Fuck
stealing
you,
my
Obamacare.
rights.
Don't sit at the lunch table with us again.
I'm trying to make them so where they can, like, you know, I mean, we still have a private insurance system, but, you know, it should be mandatory because otherwise you're just going to drive healthcare costs up because, you know, these hospitals have to treat everyone. So it'd make a lot more sense if everyone was insured.
Fuck you, Obamacare. You're a socialist piece of shit.
Well, no, it's actually not socialism. This was come up with by the Heritage Foundation.
Socialist. No.
You're not my mother, Obamacare.
I'm just trying to.
You're totally uncool.
But I just want to help you.
Just stop and leave.
Fuck you, Obamacare.
Just leave.
Well, I'll come back later and
just leave.
Give you guys some pamphlets or something.
We don't want your pamphlet. We just want you to leave.
Okay.
That dress is awful, by the way.
I'll put the pamphlet.
That dress looks horrible.
I'll put the pamphlet.
I'm sorry.
I'll put the pamphlet in the mailbox.
I'm sorry.
Your website sucks, Obamacare.
Your website's lame. No one used it. It's like MySpace. Get over it.
Oh, okay. All right, then.
All right, so here's the story that the movie was based on, Heaven is Real.
Pastor's son claims he visited heaven.
I think so. I think this might be what the movie's about. Or maybe this is a different story.
It doesn't matter. It's still stupid either way.
I wish to heaven.
I've been here.
I don't think we've been here before, pal.
You're the grandpa named Pop, right?
He died when I was about your age.
He's very nice.
He's very nice. Where did you see him?
In heaven?
Is this him? Is this the man you saw?
No, in heaven everybody's young.
That's very superficial.
How young are they? Are they like
I know, like
fetuses?
Are they babies?
So wait, if
are they
you
children? Are they toddlers?
If your child dies, are they like 25 in heaven?
No,
How
in
does that
heaven,
work?
everyone is a floating sperm and a floating egg.
They're very
and they just
young
kind of
then.
like orbit one another.
Extremely young.
They're a zygote.
Is this him?
Yeah.
I just had a funny thought. Like, what if all these Christian conservatives are like, I didn't come from no monkey? What if they die and go to heaven and God is a monkey? He's like, smashes them, throws feces at them.
That'd be awesome.
That's the best thing ever. Someone needs to draw
I hope heaven
that.
is real just so that happens.
One of the many artists in our audience needs to draw a monkey, like a bunch of fundies going to heaven and God being a monkey that's like throwing his own shit around. That'd be too funny.
That's a clip there.
We need some legitimacy. Throw Greg Kinnear in there.
It's kind of weird that they have Sanjay Gupta doing this because he's, the medical correspondent.
This book was a huge New York Times bestseller, though.
Yeah.
But it's Sanjay Gupta. He usually covers medical-related stories.
Well, this is a medical-related story.
Oh, because he died.
The kid died and had a stupid fucking near-death experience.
Yeah, the kid had an NDE, a near-death experience.
And he went and everyone in heaven is young, and I held Jesus' hand.
Starring Greg Kinnear, and he plays Pastor Todd Burpo, whose son Colton came back from the near-death
Todd
experience.
Burpo.
I'm Burpo. I'm Tom Burpo.
How you doing? I'm
That's
Todd Burpo.
That's like the nickname you give the gassy kid in school. Hey, Burpo. Hang a sign on their back. Burpo. Hey, Burpo.
Back in Europe, they must have been
drink some more soda, Burpo.
It must have been people who got drunk and like burped a lot. That's how they got their last name.
Plain visited
There you
heaven,
go.
and Pastor Burpo joins us now. Thanks. Welcome to the program.
Hey, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here.
Ben can't do it.
Yeah, I want to get into some of the details here of this whole story in just a minute. But in that clip that we just saw, what was your reaction? I mean, you were what Greg Kinnear's character is.
Yes.
What was your reaction when your son told you that?
Well, I think when he could recognize a picture of my granddad that was taken back in the 1940s, it kind of totally takes away all those explanations of the drugs and chemicals causing his brain to play tricks on him.
Hold on.
No. All I have to do is say, is this your grandpa? And see them coaching him and go, yeah, that's him.
Well, then also the fact that your grandpa probably looked a lot like your father.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was just thinking that too. I'm like, there's such a thing as family fucking resemblance.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, it's probably pretty obvious what outcome this guy's hoping for as he's showing this kid this photo. Like, where they're like, maybe there was like three. I mean, like, even if he's like, hey, there's three other guys in this photo. Like, which one's your grandpa?
I mean, yeah, it totally discounts like nonverbal communication. Like, is this him?
Is this him here? Yes.
And giving memories that he never had.
I showed him
that
a picture of
that
Vincent
he
Price
recognized
before, and he
of
said
my
that wasn't
grandfather,
him.
he had never seen before. So I was convinced that the only explanation for him recognizing that picture
only
is
explanation. The only explanation, really. That's the
so
only
ridiculous
fucking
to say.
explanation. There's no other possibilities. He must, like, if he recognized this picture, must have gone to heaven. That's the most likely explanation, really. You genuinely think, like, if this was a Muslim kid and this story was told to Christians, like, yeah, he went and he saw Allah and he found out Islam is the one true religion.
That was just Satan tricking
and
him.
he recognized a picture of his grandpa. Would any Christians be like, oh shit, I guess Islam is real?
No, because they think that Muhammad was fooled by Satan to begin with.
Yes.
Right, so I mean, like, a general rule of thumb: if your story wouldn't be convincing to you if someone else told it, then it's probably not that fucking convincing.
I had to meet my grandfather somewhere besides here.
Let me back up the story just a little bit for people who don't know it. Back in February of 2003, you think your son has a stomach flu. Turns out to be appendicitis, and his appendix actually had ruptured. He was very sick in the hospital. What happened at that point? What did the doctors tell you was happening to your son Colton?
Well, when they finally did a CAT scan on him and they put him in emergency surgery, he was so sick. I remember asking the doctor if my son was going to be fine, and he just looked at me and didn't say anything. But
it's a pretty shitty doctor.
In that surgery is where my son says he closed his eyes, and spiritually he must have opened them and then found himself sitting on Jesus' lap in that first surgery.
Oh, God.
I do wonder, as
do you have any
again,
proof?
from a neuroscience perspective.
Did Jesus put like $1 in his?
Yeah,
in little Colton's belt buckle.
Yeah,
like, yeah. Here you go, buddy.
Dance some more for me, little boy.
It's on Jesus' lap. Yeah.
So this is a Catholic Jesus.
Yeah, it must be.
Perspective, when you look at something like what happened to Colton, you think there's so many different things that are happening in the brain at that time. Memories that seem remote suddenly take on a significance. You see different sorts of images during sort of comatose-like state. Sort of many neuroscience sort of explanations, perhaps, for what may have happened to him.
Let's
Does
discount
that
those.
Change it for
those
you
are
if
nonsense.
someone says, "Look, here is a scientific explanation for what happened to Colton"?
Well, I think what really impacted me the most is when I talked to Colton's surgeon, because when he started talking to me about things like this, I wanted to check his medical records, and I asked him, did he ever flatline, did he ever code? And I remember talking to Dr. O'Halloran directly about this because he was the main surgeon operating on Colton, and he was very quickly to tell me, oh wow, Colton's not my first person that has had an out-of-body experience, and while I've had people code, tell us where we were, who came in the room, what we did on him. Matter of fact, Dr. O'Halloran was very much not surprised by what Colton was sharing with him, and that was a surprise to me.
Authority. Well, this doctor said that it's plausible.
Yeah, I have a secondhand accounts of what a doctor told me.
There are people that have had out-of-body experiences that weren't even near death. People who have meditated and had out-of-body experiences.
They can actually scientifically induce out-of-body experiences. So it really it's a documented neurological phenomena. It's not, you're not actually leaving your fucking body.
Again, I appreciate you sharing the story. I think, there's always this tension, as you know, Pastor, between science and obviously personal accounts are what they are. But I think it's a good discussion to have. I hope you appreciate the questions that I asked you, and I appreciate you being on the program. Thank you.
Why is he even
thank you for having me.
Why is he even being so nice? He didn't even it wasn't like he was grilling him like, so we all know this kind of bullshit, huh? It was just like, oh, so well, science kind of respectfully disagrees with you. Oh, okay.
I just kind of love the idea that this book is a bestseller and like all kinds of people are like, see, heaven is for real because like a 4-year-old kid is told a story.
Dude, what is it with Christians and religions just exploiting death to make money off people? Because, this is clearly what this is. Oh, he didn't know. He saw a picture and he knew, give me millions of dollars now.
It's really just like, are you believing this because it actually makes sense, or are you believing this because you desperately want it to be true? I mean, come on.
Probably a combination of that.
Well, they also said he's a pastor. So
I don't. Probably, was he a pastor before this?
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, I would.
Obviously, even if he wasn't, he was always extremely religious.
So he started with his conclusion.
Yeah, if this was like Richard Dawkins saying this, like, man, I don't know, my kid, fucking whatever.
Yeah,
that might be like, man, that's pretty crazy. But this guy, no, not really.
Yeah, consider the source.
And the evidence is just too scant. It's not like the kid came back and knew all sorts of things he shouldn't be able to know. It's like, well, he saw himself being operated on. Okay, well, he knew he was being operated on.
Yeah, it wasn't like he like described like a battle his grandfather had been in, and like he was like,
I know where the family safe is. You know, like, oh shit, there's treasure in this fucking whatever. Like, no,
there wasn't anything.
Just like he recognized. Was just you recognize this? Like, yeah. Okay, that's not really much evidence.
That's not any evidence.
It's very scant.
Yeah.
I mean, like, the Dalai Lama has to identify, like, when the Dalai Lama dies and they're looking for his reincarnated spirit, the kid has to identify, like, 6 items that used to belong to the previous Dalai Lama. So that's even a higher fucking standard of evidence. And even that's bullshit.
So this next story here is about 4th graders in Colorado being accused of selling pan to one another.
Good.
Da, 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 da.
I call it entrepreneurship.
I think you're right on that.
It was baffling, surprising, shocking.
Each day brings a new level of craziness to the offices at Greeley School District 6.
There's always something, but this is ranks pretty high in craziness.
To think, one of the area's best elementary schools that never really has any issues
There's no question, real good school.
is currently dealing with something as shady as this.
On Monday, a 10-year-old 4th grader did bring...
And they showed a literal shade as they were saying shade.
There were kids selling weed at my grade school. I mean, and it wasn't even close to being legal.
If these kids had brought beer to school, this would not be a CNN news story.
A baggie of marijuana. We believe it was
that
small
out.
quantity. We've not been able to find any of it.
Greeley School Safety Director John Gay
Wait.
says that...
Did they say they couldn't even find any pot?
So they have no evidence. That
CNN is covering a rumor that there was pot at this school.
Although they're just trying to destroy the legal marijuana movement by pointing all these stories out. Like this kid jumped out of this window.
Yeah.
This is just insanity. This is madness. People were just killing themselves left
I mean, like,
and right.
I wasn't listening for a second. So did I mishear him? Did he just literally say that they didn't even find any pot?
That's what he just said.
Okay.
Boy sold pot to 3 other 4th graders on the school playground. Okay. Then the following day, one of those kids gave the initial pot-dealing boy a marijuana edible.
I was afraid to take my kids back to school. I didn't want to take them back.
Christine, who asked us not to show her face, has a daughter at Montfort who knows the kids involved. She was shocked when she learned about the incident through a note from the school.
I didn't think I would have to have a drug conversation with my 6-year-old, who barely is out of Barney.
What's wrong with having a conversation about it when they're 6 years old?
I don't know. Like, a lot of these parents, seem to think they're doing their kids a favor by like sheltering them from things.
We're being so fucking uptight.
It's like the same. It's like the same thing with like, with sex. How am I supposed to explain gay people to my child
or sex or any type?
Yeah,
of
like
sex.
anything. You know, like anything like that. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like your kid needs to be able to live in the world that actually exists, not in some fucking fantasy world of cushions and pillows that you fucking created for them.
And that doesn't mean like drug them up or show them porn.
My
at
son
6 years old.
just got out of Barney.
That actually is what I was advocating. But everyone has their own approaches to parenting.
You know what? If you're a parent and you play Barney for your kids, fuck you.
Fuck yo!
Barney fucking sucks. Even though I was like a kid, I knew Barney fucking sucked.
Yeah, I never watched that shit.
That shit's fucking garbage, and fuck that parent.
I was too old for that shit.
You're lucky.
You love me.
For the case, another student in Montfort turned the 4
Barney
kids
should be
in.
eating them fucking
2 were
kids.
suspended, all are being punished. And to think,
Or
says
fucking them like
administrators,
Denver did.
all of this could have been prevented.
Unfortunately, in both
Denver,
cases, the students got the marijuana from their grandparents. Were not with consent. The grandparents didn't know they took it, but
At the request of the
That's
district,
awesome.
Greeley police will not file charges against their grandparents. Instead, they're hoping this serves as a lesson.
we wish they would secure it much like they would a firearm or something that could get into the hands of kids and shouldn't.
It is easy to point fingers and blame children.
Kids these days, yeah.
But in this case, the same can be said about adults.
Are the Buffalo Bills...
Whatever.
It's not even that big of a fucking deal. Okay, look, they went to their grandparents' house, they took advantage of them being senile, and like, hey, Grandpa, I need to go in your room. They grabbed the fucking weed.
Is that really any different than a kid going into his dad's fridge and fucking stealing a beer?
Or a kid taking oxycodone pills from you know,
from
their-
mommy's medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
Everyone here, when was the first time you tasted alcohol?
I did that exact thing. I remember fucking when I was a little kid.
Yeah,
I reached into the fridge and I fucking drank some beer that.
And it tasted disgusting, probably. Dude.
Yeah, it was nasty.
I was raised Catholic, so the first time I ever tasted alcohol was church wine. First communion, first grade.
There you go. I mean, everyone here tasted alcohol early on. We're not all fucking drunk.
It's pretty funny. Like that, we need a religious ceremony where everyone has to toke up. Because if we're gonna make exemptions, if little kids can drink booze for communion, I think they should be able to take at least one toke for communion too. We need like a Rastafarian Catholic fucking mesh. Bring that shit together. You know what I'm saying?
Bring it together. It's all about unity.
Unity with impunity. Woo!
I think we're going to go ahead and take a quick break here.
We're going to break a take.
We're going to break a take.
Put up one of our cool taking a break things.
TJ, the last dino.
Yeah, we can
one
do
of the ones with from that dude that's pretty good at Photoshop but not too good at grammar.
All right. So we'll be right
Denver,
back.
the last dinosaur. Suck your dick like never
Fuck
before.
you, Bill Maher. Fuck you, Bill Maher.
Fuck you, Phil
Your
Maher.
mother in our fucking asshole. Go fuck yourself. That cunt is a douchebag, and I fucking hate him. He gets on his dumb fuck show and talks shit like that all the time. Fuck you! Fuck you! Oh, fuck you! Fuck you!
Yeah, when we going back on, man, it's fucking people waiting in this room are idiots, dude.
Fucking faggots.
I hate our fucking audience. They're just shit.
The audience is shit.
This fucking audience is a bunch of damn retards.
We need to send us lots of money so we can fucking go to
I mean, maybe there's like 2 good ones out there somewhere
them all.
in like
Audience
Kentucky or
idiots.
something, but you
Oh
know,
shit, my mic might be
the
on.
rest of them are shit.
Oh shit.
The rest of them are garbage. Oh fuck, my mic is on. Oh no. Also, I hate black people. Oh no, my mic is still on. Ah!
Burn all the Jews. I mean, I love them.
And we're back.
Good thing no one heard what you were saying about our fans during the break, TJ.
That's good. I thought the mic was on, but I don't think it was actually.
No, I don't think
You're
so.
in the clear,
I
dude.
think I'm good. Fucking stupid fan. Oh shit, it's on and the fucking camera's on too. No!
Yeah.
Fuck!
TJ, the last dino.
Nappy-headed hoes!
Your career is over, TJ.
Yeah, it's fucking over.
The best racist still is the guy from Seinfeld.
Oh,
yeah.
Kramer?
Yeah, Kramer is still the best person to be exposed for racism because it's like every other story has been like subtle or had some mitigating factor. Like Mel Gibson was like fucking drunk. This owner guy, like, you know, at least like there seems to be some weird other shit going on there besides just racism that kind of muddies it a little bit. You know, usually there's like the Don Imus thing. You'd be like, well, that's just a joke. What is that?
I just want to know if you want to have him on really quick here.
We could maybe do it a little later.
Okay.
What was I saying? You made me lose my train of thought, Ben. you
Sorry
piece of
about
shit.
that. Well, you know.
Who do you guys want to have on?
I guess I won't run things by you in the future.
Good.
I'll just make them happen.
No.
Who do you guys want to have on now?
Galen.
Galen.
Galen
Yeah.
is.
We can call up Galen. Let's hear Galen talk about the Fox.
It
News
may
people.
also, we'll have to ask Galen if he wants to do this, but it may be also kind of cool to have Galen on while we take calls.
I don't know if that's going to be possible, but we'll see.
Okay. All right. So here's a story about NFL cheerleaders suing their teams.
I don't know if Galen can be contained to quite that extent.
It would be hilarious.
Let's do it.
All right. Here we go.
Cheerleaders, they're called the Jills. How about this? They're filing a lawsuit against the team. They're basically saying they work hundreds of hours for very little pay, and we're going to show you it could be a net loss for them. Now, some of you think, and my producer Robin, who was in charge of this story, her initial reaction was, wait a minute, you knew what you were signing up for. Here's Robin.
Do not try out. It is your choice. Do it or don't do it. Shut up.
Okay.
Do it or don't do it.
The conditions which people are treated by are irrelevant. Do the job or just fuck off. Yeah, that makes total sense. Like if she went to her job and everyone was like, "Hey, you're a fat piece of shit. Do the job or quit."
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of jealousy going on there.
Maybe.
Oh, how about that? But Robin, again, she did a little research, and her tune changed like that.
Once she found out nobody wanted to fuck her.
She looked at the lawsuit and what it's all about. Here's the bottom line. 4 former members of the Jills are suing the Bills. And when you get into it, and I'm telling you, my tune changed as well. Yeah, they get little pay. But beyond that, there's some degrading stuff going on here. Here's a couple of the plaintiffs. Let's listen.
We had always dreamed since we were little girls of
What are you wearing?
becoming Buffalo Jill's cheerleaders.
What kind of shoes do you have on?
And unfortunately, it was, anything but an amazing experience. Everything from standing in front of us with a clipboard and having us do a jiggle test to see.
Jiggle test.
Yeah.
Gotta do the jiggle test.
Jiggle test.
What is the jiggle test?
How, what parts of our body were jiggling.
Gotta make sure that certain parts are and certain parts
what
aren't.
Parts of a woman's body would normally be jiggling?
I don't know. I really just can't figure it out.
Jiggly.
The community, all the Bills fans out there to see what we went through, to see what we did off the field, because they're there on Sundays cheering on the Bills like we were on the field, but they don't see what goes on behind the scenes.
Why is there a fucking siren in
I don't know.
background? Jiggle siren, jiggle siren.
It's the jiggle siren. That's what it is.
This is obviously the patriarchy oppressing women.
Women's. There's oppressors with their breasts.
Yeah, like the jiggle test. How about that? One of the note, the management company that runs the Jills, kind of subletted out by the team, they've suspended operation. The Bills organization, they haven't commented on all this. But we have someone with some unique expertise that can comment on this, a former Indianapolis Colt cheerleader, Andrea Farrell. Andrea, thanks for being with us.
I just want to point out that the Bills are known for choking in the Super Bowl.
That is true.
Yes. They were a field goal away, a short field goal away from winning the Super Bowl and choked. That was a long time ago, but people have never really let that go.
No, people don't let shit go, yo.
First off, let's just say you didn't have a bad experience with the Colts.
Just like
right?
I wouldn't want to let them titties go.
Yeah. So your experience was a good one. So you hear about this.
I just want to bring up that before the show.
Have a John Cena moment again.
You want to have a moment with John Cena.
Here, let me put it next to Ben.
What are you talking about? I'm not there with you. I'm not there with you. I'm somewhere else. You're just reaching out your arm to nobody.
John Cena knows what's what. Ben, tell the audience your race. You're black, right?
Yes.
Awesome.
TJ, the honest is the man you do the jiggle test.
The jiggle test?
Yeah.
I'll pass the jiggle test.
It's almost like the truffle shuffle with your shirt on.
Yeah. I'll do it. I'll do it with it off if people pay me $666.
Yeah, actually, Drunken Peasant donations at Outlook.com. That's our PayPal. We're taking a fundraiser right now for TJ to do the truffle shuffle.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. I'll
What's our
fucking do it.
What's our goal before you do the truffle shuffle?
$666.
Perfect.
That's for each second of the truffle shuffle. So,
story, and you see some of their complaints and what they went through. Do you cheer them on in this lawsuit? You think they're right on with it?
Actually, I don't. I would have to disagree in this case because the organization really does stand behind and support the ladies of the NFL.
They're doing the duck face.
The duck face.
Yeah. Before we started the show, TJ said he was going to troll me by not being loud.
I lied.
That is a promise TJ can definitely not keep.
Yeah. I remember, when we first started doing this, I was like, TJ, I need to get your mic levels right, so I need you to talk at the same volume for the entire show. He's like, nope, not my thing. It's not my thing.
It's just not. I'm sorry.
And in my situation, we did have a lot of hours that we had to put in. However, those expectations were clearly managed on the front end. It was outlined in your contract what was expected as far as practices, appearances, how you were paid for that time, how you would be compensated for gym time, hair care, physical appearance. All of that was clear.
These sound like first world problems to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, these cheerleaders aren't being treated with the appropriate level of dignity befitting a cheerleader. It's like, well, I mean, come on. It's like cheerleading. So,
Yeah.
I mean, this is not like a vital part of the team or anything. This is basically like eye candy for pervs in the front row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those cheerleading competitions where they like make these giant human pyramids and they're doing all the gymnastic shit?
Yeah.
That type of cheerleading I see as a real sport.
That's different, though.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing as this.
This is not the same thing. No.
I mean, like, I don't, like, if they have shitty conditions, I mean, that, quit or, just go somewhere else. I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, this is a job that if you want to do this job, it's a very specific thing. Like, there's only a very select number of people that can actually, even apply for this position or get it.
TJ, you're just a misogynist. You hate women.
Okay.
I don't think they should be mistreated, but I kind of agree. It's kind of like it's not really that like important to the grand scheme of things. If there's really mistreating these people, then just don't have it as part of the the event any longer.
Yeah, or just leave if you don't like it. I mean,
yeah, that's always a possibility too. I mean, just quit.
I mean, like, every one of those women is a qualified stripper. So, I mean.
Which means they could be making more money.
There's essentially the same job with less prestige but much higher pay.
Yeah.
And you have to reveal a little bit more, of course.
Got it. So you knew what you were getting into. Well, let's go through some of the more shocking things that they're alleging here and get your take on it. And it's really demeaning stuff. The Jiggle test. Basically, the way they lay it out in the lawsuit, you do
cheerleaders
jumping
have to
jacks,
be
and someone is
attractive.
standing there scrutinizing if your stomach,
Why?
arms, legs, hips, or butt start to jiggle. Too much jiggling, you're benched. What do you think of that?
That's fucked up because I like jiggling.
Yeah, I want the butt to jiggle. What the fuck is that? I want to see a jiggly butt. No. Who made this decision? Like, butts don't need to be jiggling. That's wrong.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
False.
People are jerking off to your smoking, TJ.
Oh, he smokes. So seductive.
Me and TJ share the cigarette too throughout the process.
Yeah, we actually do.
Hands it to me.
Some people probably would object to that, like the kids that wouldn't share their sodas in school and shit.
Yeah, I let TJ use my deodorant earlier too.
Yeah. Me and Ben are just like,
yeah,
all up in each other's shit. So
you're two peas in a pod, TJ.
2 pods and some pee.
You want?
Did you have to go through that?
No, we didn't go through the Jiggle test per se, but you were monitored on your physical appearance. They did provide you with a trainer. You were expected to complete,
like,
so many
your
workouts.
job is to be aesthetically pleasing. I mean, that's pretty much what a cheerleader is supposed to do, is to be, like what is generally considered aesthetically pleasing.
Have you ever seen a 200-pound cheerleader?
No.
Never.
Every single week, and if you did not look the part on game day, you could be pulled and not work that game on the field. However, again, that was a very clear expectation. All of the ladies knew that going into it, and it was outlined every single week that come Sunday, come game time, you needed to be in your best shape possible, because we all know what that uniform looks like.
Yeah.
We all know what the uniform looks like, sure.
We all know what you look like underneath.
Show it again. Show that uniform again.
Show it. Take the
Tim
uniform
is
off.
my brother.
Who the fuck is this?
Oh, that's another one that we were gonna go into, but
we don't have time. So
no.
Let's do some Fox News shit.
Fox News, fair and balanced,
bare and phallus,
bare and phallus.
Yeah.
All right, I'll take this down.
Get that shit off the fucking screen.
All right,
it's garbage.
It's garbage, guy.
It's fucking garbage.
Yeah. So. Here's a fair and balanced Fox News story about the dangers of marijuana use.
The dangers.
So the president says that pot is no worse than alcohol, but this morning there's a shock.
That's like, once again, that's the wrong statement. I mean,
It's
like,
Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
I know, but that is what Obama said, but he's fucking stupid. It's not that it's no worse than alcohol. It's like, no, alcohol is way worse than it. That's like the proper thing.
Exactly.
So let's just, be clear on that.
A new study about the potentially lethal effects it can have on young and middle-aged people. So researchers looked at almost 2,000 patients with medical problems related to marijuana use. 20 heart attacks and 9 deaths were recorded in that study.
A heart attack can be caused by so many different factors. And you're not even factoring in how many people have heart attacks that have never smoked in their lives.
They're just using there's some correlation, so this must be the cause. That's exactly what they're pulling at, and there's no real. I really doubt that there's any evidence to show that it was solely pot. It's like, hey, they had a heart attack just because they smoked weed. I mean, I haven't read the study, but I doubt that's what the conclusion was.
Joining us now with more on it, medical A team member Dr. Mark Siegel. Good morning. So, Doctor, we keep hearing no worse than alcohol.
I think TJ died.
I'm
He's back. Fuck. It's a miracle.
I saw heaven, you guys. It was real.
It took Jesus 3 days. It took TJ 3 minutes.
I woke up on Jesus' lap, and he was like, also inside of me.
He was like, do the reverse cowboy for me, please.
Yeah, Jesus was he was a hardcore motherfucker. That's all I'm saying. But he's
the big
real.
deal
You better
about
worship him.
pot. The messaging is that it's not that dangerous. This study seems to interfere with that message.
Right. Look, Elizabeth, I look at it this way. Over a long period of time, people that,
What is
that
this
have recurrent
obvious
use of
Republican
marijuana
thing?
or chronic use, I think that it's an addiction.
Chronic use, hell yeah.
Hey,
I think as an addiction, I have to look at it as an illness. Now, what are the manifestations of the illness? We know some of them. It impairs thinking. It makes you more anxious. There's issues where it can cause paranoia.
We have done several shows high out of our fucking minds, and we have never really there's been some awkward pauses and shit, but it's never really affected our ability to respond to pieces like this cogently and intelligently. So this idea that it's this debilitating mental effect and it just turns you into an imbecile is just ridiculous.
It can cause problems making decisions. A lot of effects on the brain we've been talking about. But there are also issues with the heart involved, and that's what this study is today. So the third
And
one out of
alcohol does
France
not impair
on this
judgment
exact
or
issue.
decision-making
And
skills
why
at
would
all.
marijuana affect the heart? It wouldn't seem likely. Let me tell you why. It affects the autonomic nervous system, which affects your heart rate and your blood pressure. Blood pressure can swing up and down when you use pot, and if you have
blood pressure can swing up when you eat too much sugar.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or have too much caffeine.
Yeah. I mean, I have a friend who drinks so much fucking coffee that his heart is constantly like...
Yeah, trachea.
Right, I mean, so there's plenty of stuff that'll, take your blood pressure up and your heart rate up and all sorts of things.
No, just drink alcohol. Depresses your nervous system.
Right, I mean, it's a drug. Yes, it does have physiological, I'm actually using that word correctly, Bill Riley, effects. Sure.
Underlying heart disease, and the study pointed this out. You may not know it, and it can provoke a heart attack or chest pain. You're much more likely, another study showed, to get chest pain using pot.
Okay, so this doesn't come as a surprise to you, knowing the body so well. When you look at 1,979 cases, 35 of them were heart.
If you have any sort of heart problems at all, and you smoke something that increases your heart rate, you're gonna, you might have chest pain. But it's because you already have an underlying medical issue. It's like saying people with certain medical issues shouldn't do a whole host of things. Like someone with a heart condition shouldn't ride a fucking roller coaster either. It doesn't mean we're talking about banning fucking roller coasters.
Yeah, it says that before you get in line for any roller coaster, at least at the amusement parks I've been to.
Right.
Problems. There were 20 heart attacks. There were 9 deaths. This seems significant. We had that other study out of Northwestern where it cited 2 brain abnormalities with just casual marijuana use. But as states move to legal,
even the fucking researchers who did that study have had to retract the contentions of the study, basically saying that nothing about that study definitively proved any of that. It was basically media sensationalism by people like Fox News that propelled that study into the forefront.
This trend in the train is going in the way of legalization and more use. Are we on a road to danger?
I think we may be, and I think you said that extremely accurately. I think there's a lot of money behind it. I think we're heading in the direction of legalization. I think state by state, they're toppling over in that direction. What I'm concerned about is not enough emphasis is being put on the fact that this is an active chemical. What is it doing to people? Getting behind the wheel of a car, for example.
They always use that. Always.
Okay, but
and Colorado's already addressed that by measuring the amount of THC in someone's blood if they're arrested. They can be arrested for driving while high as well.
Yeah, so I mean, like, that's already been responded to. But I mean, like, by this logic, why is alcohol legal? If you're going to say, like, oh, it's unhealthy, and if you're going to say, oh, there's negative health risks.
Yeah, why don't ban fucking McDonald's then?
Yeah, why don't you ban cheeseburgers and cigarettes?
You know, it's a slippery fucking slope
if it really
with
if
that
it's so
logic.
mentally debilitating, why don't you ban alcohol too?
Actually, I heard the same argument when they did public smoking bans and even the large soda bans in New York.
Right.
They were saying, well, what are you going to do next? Are you going to ban McDonald's?
Which they probably will at some point try to do.
They did ban trans fats
It's
in
like,
a lot
well,
of places.
It's like, let's try to control everything that people put in their body under any circumstance. I mean, I believe that, you know, there should be certain regulations in place, sure.
It was like the stupid.
But-
Remember in New York they tried to do the
I mean,
soda
like-
ban, like
Yeah.
no big sodas. It's like
I mean, like, at some point, like, people just need, you need to let people make informed fucking decisions for themselves. And if they don't bother to inform themselves, then that's on them. It's not the job of the government to intercede on their behalf. Now, if there's some sort of larger social ramifications, then maybe that argument can be made. But I don't think that argument can apply here.
Do you remember we were watching a show about jails, and they said 85% of the people that came into Clark County, Las Vegas jail, 85% of them were intoxicated. But marijuana is the problem.
Yeah, in Las Vegas, the place where alcohol is being given to you pretty much anywhere you go, and you can drink on the street anywhere you want. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, but they're saying, oh, that's okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
But weed is the problem here. It's a fucking joke.
You're going to see more complications when it's legal than less? I'm afraid yes, because the education isn't there.
This has already been done in other countries, and we know that at first use does go up, of course. But we've seen in countries all over the world that have either decriminalized or legalized marijuana in some way, shape, or form, or made it tolerated by law enforcement, that in the long term, use does go down. We've already seen this. So it's not like this is a new thing that we're doing in the United States for the first time.
Yeah, I believe it was like, what was it, Portugal was the first place to decriminalize like most drugs?
I'm not sure about that, but I do know that they are lenient about it in Portugal and many other countries in Europe.
Too many people think, oh, this is fine. You know, how many college students are smoking pot? I mean, it's an enormous
Okay, another thing
epidemic.
we need to point out is that, like, people were smoking pot before. That's the whole reason it was legalized in the first place. It's like almost like Fox News is trying to rewrite the narrative where, like, pot was legalized and then everyone started smoking. It was the other way around.
And that's why they decided to legalize it.
Right, because it was already a huge black market that no one was able to make any tax revenue off of, and now that Colorado is making tax revenue off it, they're making fucking bank. Like, this has been a huge cash crop for fucking Colorado.
Right, instead of putting money in the hands of people, they want money in the hands of corporations.
Yeah.
Like the for-profit prison industry. And not even just that, and drug dealers. Black market drug dealers.
Yes.
So
I would consider it an epidemic. Now, legalization,
epidemic.
that's a legal
Oh,
question.
fucking pro
Medically,
buzzword. It's
I
an
have a great
epidemic.
concern for the long-term effects here. I don't think people perform as well. I bet people that have a chronic use of pot don't do well long-term in their careers as a result.
A new study. We'll have to test that.
Let's
Which I just pulled clear out of my ass.
you know who's a big financial failure in life? Snoop Dogg. You know who else is
he didn't do good long term.
You know who else is a failure? Who's never fucking been successful at all? Willie Nelson.
yeah, he never had any hits.
Bill Maher. I mean, come on. Like, there's like noted sharp people out there who have continuously, like, been able to maintain celebrity status, continuously put out work that people are actually interested in, that have smoked pot. I mean, like, when you're an entertainer, your mental faculties are pretty much the main thing at your disposal. So how can you possibly say that it has a debilitating effect when it's clearly been an inspirational substance for so many great artists that, like, I bet you that motherfucker would probably revere Willie. If you fucking mention Willie Nelson, he'd be like, yeah, Willie's great.
Not even just that. I mean, Michael Phelps, arguably one of the greatest Olympians of all time.
Right. Like, oh, he doesn't have any mental discipline?
Yeah, this is a fucking joke.
That would be a lot of money. Maybe we should take some of the money they're using on legalization and use it to study this in terms of how it affects people's careers.
We'll put our heart into
Except
that one. This
it's
is a
Schedule
scary
1
study.
drug that you
Dr. Mark
can't
Siegel,
study.
Great to see you.
Thanks, fucking moron.
Yeah.
This guy's a fucking idiot.
So the president
He's on
says
Fox
that
News.
It's playing it again. All right. Let's see here. Galen says Louis Armstrong was the king of weed.
Yeah, and he was one of the greatest musical geniuses of all time.
Someone here said Carl Sagan smoked weed every day.
Yeah, he did. Carl Sagan actually wrote extensively about the positive effects of marijuana on his life. So, I mean, if you're going to say, like, this is a bad, mentally debilitating drug, I mean, Carl Sagan smoked that shit religiously. So what now, motherfucker?
And we all know he was a total idiot.
Yeah, he was a dunce. Carl Sagan.
And it really affected his
idiot.
career. It really affected his career, too.
He was an absolute failure, you guys. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
the Cosmos was a total failure.
So let's didn't we have some kind of Sean Hannity bullshit as well?
Yeah, of course.
Or do you want to do the one with the all Republican, all white panel? Probably all white panel.
Yeah, we can do that because that's on the same topic.
Yeah, it's a nice little transitional piece. This is a typical, I guess, Fox News panel where everyone's a conservative and there's no other voices being presented, and then it's presented as like, this is a sampling of America.
They used to have, what was that guy's name? Colm or something, Hannity and Colm.
Combs, yeah, right after Obama got elected.
And they got rid
of him.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you're too liberal. Even though it really wasn't.
When they had George Bush in office, Combs was there to kind of keep the balance on Hannity and Combs, even though he probably got to speak about half as much as Hannity did. But then almost right after Obama got elected, they got rid of Combs, and Hannity got his own show by himself. Yeah, so here's this panel. I like how it says Stoned America.
Welcome back to our audience edition of Hannity Stoned America. Now we're going to bring back our audience of experts and pundits in just a minute. But first, advocates for legalizing pot have long claimed that it would make using the drug safer. And they even say that it would lead to an economic boom in certain areas. Well, among those who feel that way is my next guest. He helped push the...
That guy is awesome. I just want to say, he is one of the main people that made this happen. He actually lobbied originally just to make it legal in the Denver area. And that's kind of what spurred the whole movement there.
Cool.
Legalization efforts in Colorado and is
Looks
now
like he's
the
also
Director
a
of Communications
cheeseburger
for the
fan.
Marijuana Policy Project. Mason Tvert is here. Mason, how are you?
I'm great. Thanks for having me.
See that pause? This is he was stoned.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with satellite.
No.
He was stoned out of his mind.
It just took him that long to even comprehend what Hannity was
Are
saying.
you high right now? Are you high right now?
You know what's funny is these Christians they say they're against being stoned, but they're not against stoning. I guess so.
Somebody just said you're stoned.
I knew he was going to do it.
Oh wow!
I swear I have not watched this yet, and
Wow.
I knew he was going to pull that card at some point, but I like how he just did it right now.
Right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
And the dude actually does look stoned in that frame.
Well, yeah,
must
because I
say.
paused it.
Yeah.
We actually went to one of the dispensaries. We're going to show that later in the program tonight. Do you have any financial interest in this at all?
No, like most Americans, I simply think marijuana prohibition has failed, and I'm dedicated to trying to end it and replace it with a more sensible approach. So just like someone might work for a nonprofit on gun rights, I'm choosing to work on marijuana policy.
All right, so you see the kids in the video that when we went out to the 420 event this weekend in Colorado, you see them, they're smoking pot, they're smoking a lot of it, very stoned, they're all happy. You heard the...
They're all happy. Oh, no.
Not happiness. I thought that was
a bunch of consenting adults were having a good time.
Life, liberty.
Evil.
What was it? Life, liberty,
Yeah.
and what? What was it? The third one? I forget. I can't remember.
Life, liberty,
pursuit of.
The pursuit of miserableness.
Oh, it was the pursuit of money.
Oh,
Yeah, it was the
Exactly.
pursuit of money. That's what it was.
doctors and their observations about people that smoke pot on a regular basis, even people that went to school with them. What has your experience been? You see people smoke pot regularly. Do they have the same...
Did he ask me what my experience was?
Yeah, he did.
He said, what has your experience been?
What is your experience?
You weren't in Colorado, Ben. You weren't there.
You weren't there, Ben.
Motivation that you do? Maybe you smoke pot regularly.
I like how they keep bringing that back.
You smoke pot.
You probably smoke pot left and
Fucking
right.
stoner.
You fucking stoner. You like Cheech and Chong up in this bitch, right? Huh? Yeah? Right? Huh?
Well, we know for a fact that marijuana is an objectively less harmful substance than alcohol, as a lot of your guests have pointed out. It's less addictive, it's less toxic, and it doesn't contribute to the violence and injuries we see with marijuana.
But it takes away
or, excuse me,
people.
with
Wait a minute, but it
alcohol.
takes away their ability to function, their motivation. Anybody that I've met,
And not according to the Institute
anybody
of
that I've
Medicine.
met. I'm telling you a story.
Okay, yeah, stoners are unmotivated. Stoners are unmotivated,
Yeah,
yet we
science
fucking
is-
got it legalized in fucking Colorado.
Hannah just said, fuck science. Historically, I'm right.
But, like, I mean, the unmotivated claim is just ridiculous. If we were unmotivated, then how would we have fucking possibly pulled this off?
Anybody I've met in my life that smokes a lot of pot has zero motivation. They're not people that I consider bright, energetic, happy people.
There was someone in the background that said that's not true.
Yeah, that's such bullshit.
So at least someone there is
Someone
calling
there
him
is
out.
like, that's bullshit, Sean.
While the security guards are removing them.
Remove that man from the studio, please.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? Fox News security will be after him.
My life. That's been my experience.
That's, quite frankly, that's just
a
has
fact.
something to say about who you hang out with. But the fact is that half of Americans have used marijuana.
All right.
Our last 3 presidents, some
Are
of
you
our
a
Supreme
parent?
Court justices, some...
Where's this "are you a parent" bullshit coming from?
Are you a parent? Are you a parent? You know what it's like to be a parent? Hey, we didn't have your fucking kids. They're not our responsibility. Go fuck yourself.
The most productive people in this country have
I'm
used
talking
marijuana.
about people that
No,
not
I'm not a
used. There's a
parent.
very different distinction here between experimented, used, and those that smoke it every day. Those that need
Smoke weed every day.
For example, let's say you have kids and you see these videos of these kids at the 420 event. Your 21-year-old son or daughter says, "I'm going to the 420 event, Dad."
How many riots and murders and rapes were at the 420 event?
It was out of control. Did you see that girl that they just raped and then decapitated her and then fucked her head? That was horrible. That could have never happened on any drug but marijuana. It totally destroys people's moral fiber.
And you're going to say what?
I'm going to say, well,
Have
first
fun?
of all, it's illegal to consume marijuana in public, so be careful. But I'd much rather them use marijuana than go out binge drinking. I mean, you're going to an event
There's a
that is the
difference between-
equivalent of the one biggest frat party of the year for alcohol, and you're trying to somehow suggest that all marijuana users are these young
Do you stop at
stoner
marijuana?
kids. I mean,
Do you want to legalize
simply-
crack? Do you want to legalize heroin?
Slippery slow.
Anytime one of Sean Hannity's guests that disagrees with him starts to make a point, he changes the subject and talks over them every time.
That's the way he works.
Well, basically, Sean Hannity is his logical fallacies he favors are a slippery slope and moving the goalposts. It's constantly, well, you want legal weed, then you must want legal crack. And what's going to happen when we have the legal crack? Children are going to be doing crack in the streets. It's just ridiculous.
This isn't a discussion about crack and heroin.
I asked
We're talking about
no, you want to
substance less
legalize
harmful
pot.
than
I'm asking
alcohol.
if you want all drugs legalized. That's a simple question. That's a logical question.
I think, like most Americans, I think the drug wars failed, and we should re-examine those
I
policies.
asked you
and
a
look
question.
At
I
things
didn't
like
ask you if the
mandatory
drug wars.
minimums.
Do you want to legalize?
Taking a page out of True Empiricism's book here.
I asked you a question and you tried to answer it. Now I'm going to say I asked you a question because your answer has too much nuance in it.
Answer how I want you to answer. Because this is what Hannity wants. He wants him to be like, yeah, legalize all drugs and give them to children. That's what he wants
Someone
him
should
to
just say that to him. Yes, Hannity, I want to legalize all drugs, and you know what? I want to force you to take them. In fact, I think crack should be fucking mandatory, bitch. How about that?
No, I
heroin
don't,
and crack.
Sean, no, I don't want to.
I'm just
I don't
asking
want to
where the line is
legalize
for you.
heroin.
All right,
Combine the two. Crack-a-win.
No, I don't want to legalize heroin and crack. I'm here to talk about marijuana, and it's clearly you just don't like the people who use marijuana. You
That's not
like
true.
hanging out with people who drink.
That's not true. No, I think there's a big difference.
Well,
I
saw you
think,
on your program
I believe,
recently
hang on a
showing
second.
people how to
I
shotgun a
agree with the
beer.
doctors and the experts we have. I believe it's a gateway drug. I
The
believe
doctor
number
and the
two-
doctors would have nothing negative to say
Wow.
about booze, I'm sure.
It's a gateway drug. This is like the fucking. What is this, like 1990s Dare? It's a gateway drug. You're going to smoke the weed, and then you're going to be doing the crack.
Hey, kids,
and
I'm
then
Dare
heroin.
Officer Hannity.
Those that use it regularly and particularly, I think they lose motivation, they lose ambition.
You think?
I think they do.
You think? What does that fucking mean? It means nothing.
For one thing, he's lying. He does not think.
They are not as alert and aware and as engaging as the other people that I meet in my life. But anyway, Mason, we got to roll. Thank you. Appreciate you being with us. All right.
I like how he just was like, whatever, fuck you.
Yeah, you made some logical points. Fuck off. You're off the show now. This isn't the Hannity
Get out of
show.
here. This is a Hannity show, bitch. You don't know what's fucking going on. I'm a fucking god.
You know, I'm not so sure if this panel is just regular voters. I think this is a so-called expert panel. We'll see what happens here.
I don't know what's going on, but it's okay.
Head back to our studio audience. All right. Who did I promise? Yes. What did you think about that conversation? Well, you think this is just
that was
the
not a
beginning?
conversation.
You think it's a
that was
gateway
you
drug?
berating
You
someone
think
who was trying to have a conversation
all of this
with
is
you.
creating pot culture. I'm not as nervous about the drug as I am with the obsession of the pot culture.
Pot culture. Yeah, that's
what
new.
What happens with young
Cheech and
people
Chong was
is
never a thing.
they don't learn how to cope
Yeah,
when
like
they
40
start
years ago.
smoking
Exactly.
pot.
You're a young
to
person.
relax.
Right.
I'm way too type A for any. I never relax is the thing.
All right.
But when people don't learn to cope,
Okay, I'm just going to
then
point
it-
out that Scotty is a high-strung motherfucker and he smokes. So it's not like it's going to have some sort of
Actually, my life has fallen into shambles.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
You
so-
shambly motherfucker.
You have no motivation.
Yeah, I have no motivation to do anything.
Actually, TJ and Scotty both have no motivation. They sleep on my couches, and then they wake up when it's time to do the show.
Yeah, we're just like, Ben's like, guys, come on the show. He's like, come on, let's do it Saturday, dude. It's cool.
Yeah, Ben actually has what he calls the TJ stick. He whaps TJ a few times to wake him up.
No, man, I'm fucking too high right now, dude. Let's just do the show in like 3 weeks. It'd be cool. People
become
understand.
adults who smoke all the time.
You and I are the same way. Type A. All right, Joanne. All right, let me go to Todd Starnes. Todd, you come at
Todd
this from a
fucking
moral
Starnes.
perspective.
Oh
You
my
write a lot
God.
about
No
moral
fucking
issues.
way. I hate that dude.
Morally,
dude,
do you see
stop
this
it.
as
Pause
part
it.
of America?
Dude, before, okay, whatever Todd Starnes is about to say is going to be fucking retarded because Todd Starnes is literally the dumbest motherfucker on the planet.
I don't even know who he is, but I'm excited now.
Look, every single time I hear about like conservatives are having a hissy fit over something on Twitter, there's always a tweet from Todd Starnes, and it's always the dumbest fucking one.
Okay, let's roll it.
Well, I've got to hear what this motherfucker's
I think
gonna
everyone
say.
should tweet to Todd Starnes, smoke pan every day.
Let's see. Now he's going to say something intelligent just to piss me off.
All right.
But no,
It's
probably
gonna be
not.
some intelligent, nuanced argument.
Almost certainly not. This dude's a retard. Let's see what he said.
In decline.
Oh, I think absolutely that's the case. What we have here is a case of money over
God, no
morality. And, right now it's really funny. Folks, we're watching the chuckleheads, we're watching these folks doing what they're doing out there and getting a good laugh about it. But when the body count starts rising, when more people start dying, then maybe, yeah, it's real funny.
I told you. I fucking told you it was going to be
fallacies
retarded.
are funny. You're slippery slope arguing.
When the bodies pile up from weed. What? Huh? I'm sorry? Excuse me?
That's also like an argument from consequences. When these really bad things happen,
I'm just gonna say
it's gonna be really bad, and we're gonna sit there as conservatives and be like, "We told you so."
Like in his
Give me a
mind,
fucking break.
there's like newsreels from the 1930s of like
The
people in concentration
when the Negroes
camps.
get when the Negroes get the marijuana, they're gonna rape your white women.
I just saw like the mound of like Holocaust victims, and then it's like these are victims of pot.
Isn't it? Real funny to talk about. But
Real
this is a
funny.
classic example. This
It's
is a classic
real
example,
fucking
Sean,
funny.
of people just not giving a damn anymore. You know what?
Wrong, incorrect. It's not that people don't give a damn. It's just they think you're a fucking moron, and you know why? Because you are.
Yeah, because you are an idiot.
And you fucking throw logical fallacies out left and right, and you're basically retarded. That's why that he's laughing. It's not because he just doesn't care and he just has this cavalier attitude towards human life. He just knows that human life has not been put at any great risk by legalizing fucking pot.
Give a damn about marijuana ODs.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second. I think what you're saying is they start with marijuana, then they drink, and
you
then
know
they
what?
snort coke,
And
and
it's
they do
hypocritical
blow, and they
because
do
where they
this.
draw the
Hold on. He said they
What?
snort coke and then they do blow.
Snort coke and then do blow.
Yeah.
These guys don't even know
Snort
what drugs
coke.
they're
First I got a
talking about.
blowjob, then we had some fellatio. It's like those are the same. Sorry.
Where do you draw the line?
Sean.
That's the issue. Where do you draw the line?
Listen, so if you look at cigarettes, right, there's a huge push out there talking about how bad cigarettes are for you. Alcohol is the same way. What are we seeing about pot over and over again? It's how great it is. Gavin's talking about how great other drugs are. It's no longer the conversation is medical marijuana helpful? Yes, the doctor said so. But is other weed potentially bad for you?
This guy's slurring his speech.
He's drunk on the show.
Is he drunk on the show?
I'm just fucking, you talk about the way, man. Okay.
Maybe. Keisha. Yes. Why is there a promotion? That's my problem with it.
I agree about
Why
the
is there-
cigarettes. Is a good
why is there
analogy.
promotion?
The whole society, you can't smoke a cigarette even in your own apartment in New York anymore.
Right.
Well, Sean, just coming from an attorney's perspective, most of my clients, I do criminal defense work with adults and juveniles. I would say 9 out of 10 of those clients have used marijuana on a regular basis. And these kids who are committing crimes, they were high on marijuana. So their judgment is all messed up. And I do believe it's a gateway drug.
That was hopped up on the weed pill.
It's not for anyone. It's a gateway drug.
If you legalize it broadly, it's going to be more available to
Last word, Guy.
You don't have to be a super criminal to
Guy.
and I know alcohol
But
as a
it's gonna
child.
be easier if it's legalized.
You don't have to be a super
Country.
criminal now. So how much easier is somebody passing it to them?
Well, listen, look at that. You think everybody's 21 at that pot party? Honestly, you think everybody's
that's not
21?
the
There's
majority
no
of the
way.
pot smokers in America are not on the campus of Colorado. Just like, look around the room. First of all, everybody on this panel is going to be talking out of different places. The sound guys, the camera dudes, they all smoked before. Every single one of them. Look at the guy on Boom. Look at the guy on Boom. Look at his beard.
Wait a minute.
Look at his beard.
Whoa. Well, first of all,
Well, let him answer.
He's a friend of this program, and I work with him for years, and I can tell you that's not true. That's
Never in
not
his
true
life,
about
he
him.
never smoked
Not true.
one joint
No,
in his
you
life.
said today.
I didn't say today. I didn't say today.
Dude, you have to be high to tolerate Sean.
Candy now. They got candies made out of marijuana.
The candy's made out of the marijuana. Hey, it's the guy that peddles fucking Arby's.
It is.
It's
What
the
the fuck?
Arby's. They fucking got the guy that peddles fucking Arby's talking about.
Is it really?
Yeah, that dude fucking makes commercials for Arby's.
Oh my god.
That's the dude that peddles fucking Arby's sandwiches, telling us like
I'm not-
pot's dangerous.
I'm not
Like,
sure if Arby's is overseas, but for people that are overseas, Arby's is basically this American chain that's known for selling like roast beef sandwiches.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's giant, decadent, often cheese-covered roast beef sandwiches.
Yep. With tangy sauce that you can put on it.
Yes. I enjoy them, but I know I shouldn't.
The pro pot guy's argument was pretty stupid. That guy has a beard. He must smoke weed.
Yeah, that was pretty dumb. But, you know, I mean, like, he's overwhelmed by, like, a sheer mass of conservative idiots, and he's, like, the token, well, black guy.
Yeah, he really is the token black guy. We use that a lot, but he really is the token black guy.
Yeah, on Fox News, like, let's throw a black guy on the panel just so they can't whine about being underrepresented.
Yeah, so do you want to take a quick break and then we'll come back with some calls, or
Yeah, go ahead. You guys, why don't you run through the call process for me, Ben?
Yeah, feel free to send us a message, not a friend request, just a message to live:drunken peasant. The @ sign is not part of it. That just means @live:drunken peasant. And if you see anything else out there called Drunken Peasants or Punkin Dresents or anything like that, don't send them a message. They are asshole trolls. Just search for live:drunken peasant and you will find us. Send us your questions. We will choose the best ones and we will call you. So, yep, we'll do the Q&A section of the show next, and we'll be right back after we're done reviewing everything. Okay, we're back. Yeah, we're back.
TJ, make the announcement. Oh, okay. Never mind.
There is no announcement.
There
Fuck
was,
you.
there was, but there
No, that nothings. We fucks you. We fucks you in the ass.
Okay.
We're taking calls now.
We're making calls.
Do you want to put us up on there, or are we just going to do it like that?
For right now,
or we could just put the Skype windows up on there.
Yeah, I can put like your full window up.
No.
Yeah.
So self-conscious.
Let's just do this background, because every time we try to do like the full screen of the screens with Skype, it fucks up.
No, I fixed it. It shouldn't be doing
okay.
it. Has anyone said that it's messed up? Let
no.
us know if the audio is messed up when we're doing full screen.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Oh, man, so many of them.
Random people.
This is the stupidest question ever. I can't even do that.
No, man, just let them come on and say
No,
it.
it's a stupid question.
I know. Let's berate him for
No, it's a question that's obviously the answer is no. It's that dumb of a question.
I know, right? But still. but I don't know. Call phone.
Oh, no. Yeah, wrong one. I don't even know why it gives that one as an answer. That's stupid. Of course we don't want to call a phone.
Busy.
Okay. You talking to someone more important than us?
They said shoot.
Okay, well,
I
you
missed
get
that call.
you get one more chance.
You get one more chance, bitch.
Oh. We'll try. I'm going to give them one more chance.
They're saying stop.
Oh, well, fuck you then.
Why the fuck do you... If you... This should be so fucking obvious, but I guess I'll say it again. If you're not prepared to come on the show, don't fucking write us with a question.
Yeah, don't ask us a fucking question, you worthless cocksucker.
Just like, if you don't have the time or you're going to be busy, then fucking don't waste our fucking time, you circle jerking motherfuckers. Jesus.
Yeah, don't call me. Stop. It's like,
Stop
what?
calling me. Why are you harassing
Then
me
don't
with
submit
calls?
a fucking question, you idiot.
Jesus, titty fucking Christ.
This we just to let everyone know, we are calling someone right now.
Yeah.
And they're just not answering.
This is like...
Oh, here we go.
Hi.
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 How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
We're wonderful.
Put that cookie down!
Okay.
So...
Are you holding a cookie, sir?
No, I'm not.
No, that's sad.
He had a good question. Go ahead and ask your question.
Ask your question, sir.
Ask your faggoty question.
Wow, damn.
Damn.
Have you been watching TJ long enough now to notice that he would do that to anybody?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a personal insult against you or anything. It's just like...
yeah,
okay.
I completely realize that.
Okay.
All right.
So I was wondering, how scientifically advanced do you think we would be as a species?
Not enough,
TJ's
apparently.
mic stand just broke as you asked that question, so give us 1 second.
Science, bitch!
All right.
No, this is fine. I could do it like this.
Okay, that's cool.
I'll
but,
just rock the mic like this for now.
Ask your question again, because his
Gives me
mic
something to do with my
stand
hand.
collapsed as you were
All right.
asking it.
So how scientifically advanced do you think we would be as a species if religion did not exist?
That's a very difficult question to answer because you have to, like
I would
there's...
say more advanced.
Yeah, I mean, that would be my instinctive answer, but I mean, that's really, there's so many variables involved, and when you're trying to construct alternate histories, I mean...
What if questions are pretty hard.
Yeah, I mean, here's an example of how I think that maybe the idea that we'd be more advanced might be incorrect, because, it was religious scholars that preserved a lot of information after the fall of Rome. I don't know if Rome would have even been the same country if there had been no religion at that time. So I mean, it's very difficult to say what the history of humanity would look like if we didn't have this strange predilection for personifying things like weather events and trees and mountains and volcanoes and so on and so forth. Like, it's very difficult to say what that would look like because that would be a very different human race.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I mean,
But wouldn't there have been scientific scholars, you think, if there had been no religion?
probably. I mean, I just don't know. It's very difficult to say, like, what we would really gain and what we would really lose. I mean, my instinctive answer is that religion has been detrimental.
Yes, same with me.
And so I would presume that that we would be more advanced, but I mean that is a presumption, and there's really no way it can be proven. And I'm very reluctant to give a definitive answer to a very open-ended question with so many variables in play.
I mean, I kind of meant it as an opinionated question, but
sure. And my opinion is that we would be more advanced.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm just basically saying that my opinion could be wrong, and that it's not something that should be taken as quote unquote gospel truth.
Yeah, because who's to say that early people that believed in God didn't want to unravel the mysteries of the universe?
Right, exactly. I mean, a lot of early science was about trying to figure out how God's creation works. I mean, that was
people are probably surprised that we're saying that too.
Well, I mean, we have to be.
I'm a little surprised.
Why?
To be honest.
Why? Were we just supposed to have like some superficial knee-jerk reaction like, nah, we'd be fucking riding around in flying cars right now and shit. Yeah. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. I think we probably would be more.
We
advanced,
admitted that we would be inclined to think that science would be way further ahead.
That is our inclination. But I mean, I just want to point out that there's some caveats.
Yeah, it is a kind of biased thing to ask, but
no, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the question itself.
Yeah, it was a good question. That's why we chose it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, thanks for being on.
I think that guy just takes offense a little too easily.
I don't think he did. I think he was fine.
I don't know. I think he sounded.
He had a nasally voice. I think that you just interpreted it that way.
Voice.
Really? Yeah, because you have a nasally voice, and I always think you're a whiny bitch. So.
That's what I'm saying. So
who?
Scotty, not you, Ben. You have a very masculine, I am Ben.
You have a more baritone voice for sure.
My name is Ben, and I have a deep voice.
Deep voice.
Scotty's more nasally, and I'm kind of nasally.
I'm not nasally. Well, I have a fucking deviated septum, you piece of shit, so you can suck fucking dick.
Deviated septum.
Deviant septum.
Scoopy.
A deviant septum. A devious septum.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
You lack discipline.
Oh,
you do. Do you lack discipline, sir?
I do not lack discipline. I just am nervous as fuck, I guess.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
We're just fucking with
Calm
you.
down.
It's okay, buddy.
Breathe.
Oh,
Take
God.
some deep breaths.
Would it be crazy if someone had a heart attack and died while they were on the show?
If they were smoking pot, it is possible.
Yeah.
Yes, we just heard that.
I know.
Anyways,
right. Sorry.
so
Anyway, Eric, what's your question, buddy?
Well, I asked 13,000 of them, so.
Oh. All
Okay.
right.
Well, we don't have that much time, but you can ask a couple of
You
them.
can ask one or two or three, maybe.
Okay. Copyright law. I kind of see it as, in some sense, because when you look at the arguments put forward by media companies,
Yeah, they have the best lawyers money can buy.
Yeah, but it really seems like just like a friggin' religion now. Like when you look at it, it's assumed file sharing is a stolen copy. That's not a that can't be debated. That can't be scientifically disproven. It has to be, it's a set in stone. It's like in the book of copyright infringement, I guess you could say. And it's in there's a lot of derogatory terms like piracy. And I just was wondering, do you think the perception of copyright law is akin to a religion?
I don't know about a religion, but it's it's definitely motivated by greed. But I do think in some ways copyright law, I mean, there could be some sort of room for it. I don't know about federal charges like felony charges or anything like that, but I don't know.
Well, but if you look at some of the the recording industry estimates of the losses, I mean, if
Yeah.
you, sorry, there's a delay in the video. I'm kind of confused.
Yeah. Don't watch the video. Listen to us on Skype.
Okay, yep. So anyway, but if you look at the the recording industry estimates,
the RIAA.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Their estimates of losses would exceed the world GDP by several multiples. Like
that's pretty crazy.
Well, that's obviously ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's obviously some irrational shit going on there. I mean, I don't know if I'd go so far as to call it religious in nature, but I mean, like, most groups are going to create their own sort of, tribalistic language and dogma and have their own culture and their own ideas about how the way the world actually works. And, people are very prone to confirmation bias, so basically any evidence that's brought up that contradicts what they believe is immediately dismissed, like Sean Hannity was doing earlier in those clips, if you saw those. Whenever his opponent would bring up a good point, Sean Hannity would immediately change the subject, move the goalpost, resort to ad hominem or slippery slope. I mean, he's just a ridiculous motherfucker.
He's a propaganda master.
And I mean, like the movie and recording industries. I mean, they're trying to protect something that they can't protect it. I mean, they don't understand that the technology that drives the world has changed, and there's no fucking way that they're going to keep their content off of the internet. It's just too easy for people to copy and share this information.
Exactly.
The idea that they have some sort of ownership rights over this content, I think, is an antiquated notion. Now, obviously, creators need to be able to benefit financially from their content, because otherwise no one's going to create anything. I mean,
I disagree. I disagree.
Well, no, I don't disagree. You can't disagree there, because there's no way. How the fuck would you? How the fuck? Wait, no. If you're running a movie company, there's no way you can raise funding for $120 million fucking motion picture, unless there's some way to make money off of that.
Sure. Well, I don't think it has to be that expensive. And
I mean, if you want to watch a movie like The Avengers, it does, and there's a market for that, and there's no reason why that should go away just because you don't like copyright law.
I guess what I'm saying is, though, if your content sucks, like, you shouldn't assume. I guess there's an assumption of.
Well, if your content sucks, why would people be stealing it?
Exactly.
Yeah, it'd be on like YouTube.
No, that's a subjective call.
Fucking,
whether you want like something or not. That has nothing to do with copyright law.
Yeah, creators need a way to monetize their content. That's not up for fucking debate, in my opinion. If you disagree, then whatever.
I don't disagree. I'm just saying,
I mean, I don't think the copyright laws in their current incarnation are the way to do it, because I don't think they address the realities of the technology of our day and age.
Especially when you look at the new studies that show that file sharing has actually a positive or neutral effect on.
Right. I mean, there have been several studies that have shown pretty much the same thing. And then when you see the
studies against, it's always something like Warner Music's profits went down, but what about all the indie artists and the people not associated with large media companies?
Right. I mean, it's become a lot easier for musicians, at least, to release their content directly to consumers. Yeah. Now, that's not true for all arts. I mean, some art does require, or not even just art, but entertainment as well. That requires a lot of effort and a lot of money. So it doesn't really benefit everyone to move to that sort of model. But I think that there's definitely a lot of room for revision and improvement. And I personally have no issue watching so-called pirated content, because I'm not going to pay for every single instance of media.
By the way, Galen, I'm pretty sure Galen's saying that you're wrong.
I'm wrong about what?
I don't know.
He's always saying I'm wrong.
Galen always says TJ is wrong.
Well,
it's almost like a running joke in our house.
Galen can fucking come on the show.
I didn't read it all, but yeah, we can bring
Galen can come on the show next week, and we'll talk about it.
You don't want to talk? Okay.
No, because he's coming on the whole show next week, probably. Yeah. So we'll have plenty of time to discuss it with him. Anyway, why don't you move on to another question?
Okay, one more thing. I want to say I'm now a happy member of the Atheism Plus Blockbot for some reason. I just want to put that out there.
Atheism Plus is a bunch of dogmatic retards.
Oh, well, absolutely. I'm just saying, what did I do?
All right, take it easy, man.
Okay. I was going to let him ask another question, but that's fine.
Oh, I thought you wanted to move on to a different call.
No, I wanted to move on to one of his other 13,000
Well,
questions.
no, that's all right. We can
call someone else, though.
Yeah.
There's lots of people waiting.
We should call this person, because this is the person that made our graphics for us and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see.
My mouth is dry.
I wonder why.
I don't know. It's a mystery.
TJ, the last
Hello?
Hello? Anthony. Antony. Let's give him a minute. We'll give him 10 seconds to get his audio issues in order. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You fail. Move on.
Okay. We'll call you back another time.
Yeah, we'll try Anthony again on another show. We gave him ample time there. 30 seconds, so. Well, 30, if you can't, I mean, like, if you go to your audio settings and you fucking do whatever, I mean, if he didn't have his mic or something, then that's on him.
Tell us how you really feel about it, TJ. Fuck this guy. His mic wasn't ready. I hope he dies and gets AIDS.
Yeah, what a
have
jerk.
have a nice day.
I'm trying to keep a show moving here. It's not like he's the only person to consider. Okay?
He's the only person we should consider.
I have
TJ.
700-something
You don't
other
va-
people that are
TJ,
fucking,
don't
invested
value
in
individual
content
life,
moving
TJ.
along. So
You don't
whatever.
Value, you don't value
Whatever.
individual life, TJ.
Whatever.
You don't value individuals,
Talk to the
TJ.
fucking hand, bitch.
TJ is a communist.
You're a communist.
TJ is a communist and a fascist.
You've
and a
been called,
Nazi.
Scotty, you've been called a fascist for blocking people.
You a commie.
Good.
Jeremy.
Hey, what's up?
Jeremy, how you doing, buddy?
Doing excellent.
That's good. So what's up?
All right, cool. So I had a question. I was asking about the recent incident with Dusty and Jacqueline Lynn, where Dusty came to Jacqueline Lynn's defense about sexist comments on her channel.
Right.
And I was wondering where y'all stood on that and general cohesiveness in the atheist community as well.
It's kind of funny that you asked that question. Have you ever read our chat room while the show's going on?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, when she was on our show, she even made a point. She made a comment about the comments she was getting here, because obviously there's a lot of crazy people and trolls and shit in our chat room, and she was like, "Wow,
and just plain old horny guys."
Yeah, basically,
just people who they their dick tells them to type something and they obey.
Yeah,
you pretty. Take it
I
right
won't
off.
squeeze your butt, Jacqueline.
As far as our stance on it, I mean, she's allowed to be offended by it if it offends her.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of negative comments. I certainly don't look at them and be like, "This is great," Yeah. I can't imagine, if I was a girl and I was getting fucking sexist comments or things that were just like, "Your tits are nice." It's like, well, did you actually watch what the fuck I said, you piece of shit?
Did you guys see the videos?
Then again, I already get the tits are nice comment now. So
yeah, you do. Did you guys see those videos? Because I did not.
I actually didn't see the videos, but I have some familiarity with what he's talking about.
Cool deal. One of my favorite comments on Dusty's video was some lady talking about how, well, no one's come to my defense, but then again, I'm not attractive. And that kind of made me laugh.
Yeah. I can kind of see the point there.
Yeah. Thanks for the call. Let's see. That was the guy that drew the cartoon pictures of us.
Yeah, we got a lot of artistically talented followers.
Yes.
That draw us.
Which
shit.
we are not artistically talented.
Hey, what is the best size? It would be like what, 1920 by 1080, or would it be 720 by 480? Like
I stretch it out to 1080, but our stream is 720.
So, but anything in that aspect ratio would be good fan art sizes. So, if any of you artists out there want to make something for the Drunken Peasants that we might put up, that's just that you can fucking make anything. You can submit it to us on our Facebook or our Twitter.
Facebook's better.
Facebook is better, but Twitter would be nice too, because then they'll follow the Twitter maybe.
Yeah.
While they're there.
Follow the Twitter.
You guys should follow us on social media in general. Anyway, so let's bring someone else on, I guess.
You guess.
I guess. I presume. I presume.
All right.
I think at this point we'll just leave you in a room and tell you the show is going on, and we'll just go drink some. We'll just
go get. You guys will just leave. TJ, you're the show now.
You're a middle-aged man, TJ.
We're gone. We're doing our own thing, buddy.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're on your own.
Shannon. Hello?
Hello.
Hey.
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 Hello.
Hello.
There's two of us. Hi.
There's 7 people there.
There's 17 people there. It's like a clown car.
Are you sure it's not just one dude that does a pretty good chick voice,
I don't know,
or vice
maybe.
versa?
No, we're married, but it's on his computer.
Okay, cool. So who has the question? Both of you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're both Trekkies.
Okay, awesome. Yeah. Fuck yeah.
We know you talk about Star Trek a lot on Drunken Peasants on your channel, and we were
'cause
wondering.
pretty much, if there's one thing that all the Drunken Peasants are united on, it's the awesomeness of Star Trek.
Yeah, when we first started hanging out, we always watched Star Trek.
Yeah, that's us.
Yeah.
We were just curious. Who are your favorite captains? What's your favorite series? What are your favorite episodes?
Favorite captain is Picard. Favorite series would be TNG, of course.
I agree with Ben.
I'm gonna deviate a little bit. I'm gonna say Captain Picard is my favorite captain, but DS9 I like better.
DS9 had a great story.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just think DS9 was way more epic and risk taking, and it kind of reminded me a lot more of the spirit of the original without all the hokiness of the original.
Yeah, I love the episode where they went back. Yeah, and one of my favorite episodes would be the DS9 episode where they go
Yeah,
back.
where they pay homage to fucking
The Tribble.
With Tribbles,
It's like
the Tribble episode. Yeah, that was a good one.
And they have all of the cast of DS9 wearing the old school Starfleet uniforms and like using the old equipment. And she's holding this like obviously 60s piece of technology, and she's like, "Man, that 23rd century technology, just classic design."
Yeah.
And just curious, were TJ and Scotty named after?
No.
Oh,
no.
That actually
I'm
is
just-
unintentional.
I'm asking
That's-
because my husband is a Scot, and he was. So.
Oh, no, we were not.
No. Actually, our dad hated it. Because
That's so ironic.
My dad was actually born James Kirk. And he had to change his name to Thomas Kirk because he was so sick of people being like the Star Trek. Wow. He actually told me that the reason that he finally changed it when he was in Paris and he ordered some wine and they said, "We'll beam it right up." He's like, "Man, if I can't even escape this shit in Paris,
I have a
fuck
double,
it."
I have a
Beam it
double
right
Star
up.
Trek name, though.
Yeah,
Could you
Scotty,
imagine how
and then
that was said.
Yeah, and then Scotty, of course, they name him fucking Scotty of all names. So it makes it sound like he's the fucking gay love child of fucking Captain Kirk and Scotty.
Yeah.
Scotty Kirk.
I know, right?
That is the origin of my name, actually.
So what do you think about Enterprise? Because most people think that's like the worst.
You know,
of the worst.
Are you asking them?
Them or whoever's here.
I haven't seen it.
I have never watched it either. I've been too afraid because I've heard it's shit.
Pretty much. Yeah,
I don't want to.
It's by far the worst Star Trek theme song ever.
That sucks.
That a show's ever.
Because I don't like any. As much as I like Star Trek, I really only like the theme for Next Generation.
That's the most epic theme song.
I know. And then the original just has this stupid. I'm like, okay, that's crap. And then fucking Voyager has some snoozy shit that'll just put you to fucking sleep.
Yeah, I would usually fall asleep before the episode
and
started.
fucking DS9 was not much better.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, DS9 at least had some like bombasticness a little bit, but like that fucking Next Generation theme, that dun 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 dun, that's just like so fucking epic.
Yeah. So, are you still there?
They left.
yeah.
They're like, fuck this
Nope,
shit.
we're here.
This is garbage.
We're just trying to share a pair of headphones. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything else you want to say?
No, I was just curious.
All right. Yeah. Good question.
Rock on.
Yeah.
Any chance to talk about fucking Star
Yeah, we
Trek.
can just ramble about that shit forever. It's easy to ramble to that shit.
Rambly bambly.
Let's see.
Jeez. Must she be on every show, Ben?
We have to have at least one female caller every show.
There was a female caller in the last call.
Yeah, that dude didn't really say anything.
Yeah, that's true.
Aisha, you there?
Hello.
How you doing?
She's so polite. How could you not want her
TJ
on?
needs his ego stroking, so he called you.
Ben is the one that chose
Oh,
you.
I don't think so, TJ.
Ben chose you. I had nothing to do with the process, so fuck you.
Hi.
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 How you doing?
You're making her feel very unwelcome.
I'm sorry. It's all right. You're welcome. What's your question?
Yeah, you actually said recently.
By the way, how fucking late are you up?
It's 4:15.
Okay. I'm just wondering, do you stay up just to watch this, or is it like you just up this late anyway?
I've been on a break from uni, so I've been staying up till 6 every day.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Because we were thinking about maybe one of these days doing a special show for our UK people.
That's a European fans.
Yeah. You know, like well, I guess more than just Europe and you know, general. Maybe do a show at a different time just so they can actually fucking catch a live show for once.
Yeah, we get a lot of people asking us that.
So, yeah, we're maybe going to try to do that in the future. Obviously, that's not something practical for us to do all the time, but we can maybe try to do it once. Anyway, what's your question?
You said on Tumblr that you don't believe anyone owns art, and I was just wondering if you could elaborate
Owns what,
on
art?
Yeah.
Owns art? Okay. Well, we kind of actually got into that a little bit with the copyright thing, and really it kind of boils down to the same thing. Like, I don't think that when information and multimedia can be quickly and easily transferred from person to person on, you know, a computer network that is accessible to pretty much everyone in America, like, I don't think that you can possibly enforce copyright. I don't think you can enforce the concept that, you know, people own artwork. I don't think that works anymore. I just don't. I don't think that it's feasible. I think that, you know, you have to make sure that you do everything possible to protect, you know, some rights for creators, especially the right to actually make money off of their content, because otherwise they're not going to be able to create. They're not going to have the time and the resources. But
you're saying it's an antiquated system. It just hasn't evolved into modernity, really.
Yeah, I don't think it's not only legislatively that it's failed to evolve or practically. It's just like ideologically, people have failed to look at the concept the way that it actually is now. I mean, I don't think, you know, there's no, like, if you post a drawing that you did on the internet, that drawing now belongs to the fucking world. And people don't want to accept that. People want to say, no, this is mine. It's not yours anymore. It can't possibly be yours because it's just too easy for other people to just walk up and take it.
That's true. But the sort of art theft that I'm thinking about is mainly people taking particularly drawings and like reposting it and claiming that they did it.
Right.
Like,
well, you know, the reality is those people are quickly found out and I think weeded out by the people. I mean, you know, when someone posts art and claims that it's theirs, usually they're eventually found out.
It's kind of like when people post poems and say that they're theirs.
Yeah. Right.
Just people. No, not naming anyone.
Bread King.
No, shut up, man.
No. I didn't say Bread King. I said Bread King.
The Bread King.
The Bread King.
We're just talking about the king of bread.
Totally different person.
You're reading too much into things, Ben.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did have another question, but I have
sure.
to for a while.
What?
Oh, I wanted to ask. This is another sort of Tumblr-based question, but I've seen a lot of people, like well-intentioned people, sharing sub stories that they identify with, and like they support the cause, but the sub stories like generally turn out to be false and were just uploaded for some person to get popular. And I'm just wondering if you think that sharing something like that without bothering to check its validity is more stupid, or if the person sharing it is more kind for being really ready to help with an issue like that.
Well, I mean, it's very possible to be stupid and kind. I mean, it's not like those are not mutually exclusive
It
things.
depends on the intent behind it. If you're being duplicitous and saying, I know this story is false, and now I'm going to just trick people into believing it so it furthers my agenda, that's wrong. But if you just buy into it because you're just too ignorant to actually look into it, that's another thing entirely.
Yeah, I mean, I think that most of the time the people share those things because it's for very well-intentioned reasons. But people need to understand that, people make shit up all the time, and usually when people actually end up believing shit that's false, it's because it panders to a stereotype, or it's just something that they don't think anyone would lie about. Well, you need to realize that just because you might stereotypically think something is true doesn't mean that every instance you're presented with is true. And also, people will lie about anything.
Yeah,
so you should never just accept anything at face
do you
value.
remember that one waitress that said like these people were homophobes and they bashed me, and then they showed that she had made it all up?
Yeah, or the woman who said that her kid was like physically accosted in a store because he was wearing a hat that some guy considered to be gay, and then it turned out that she'd told numerous tall tales in the past about stuff like that. And that she was basically full of shit, But there's you hear about this stuff all the time.
Just to try and demonize a group of people. and I think that's particularly bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Thanks for your call.
So how many more you want to do?
One or two.
Okay.
These are people in the chat. New Zealand is a terrible country. Living here sucks.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
New Zealand sucks a big fat cock.
When I think New Zealand, I think Middle Earth every time.
You could move to Somalia. It'd be more
Me
exciting.
too. I think Middle Earth as well.
Just a suggestion. They said New Zealand sucks. I'm like, they can just move to Somalia or they can move to someplace like that. I mean, they would be shot at, but I mean, they have a lot more excitement in their lives.
Yeah, let's just do one more.
Let's do one more.
One more.
One more.
It's the one fucking more.
One more fucking stupid ass motherfucking call.
It's the one more fucking cow.
One more.
One more than you're done for.
Someone in the chat is named Bill Maher. He just posted, fuck me.
Yeah, I saw him earlier.
That is pretty awesome.
What the fuck?
I don't know. I'm just passing time while we're waiting for this call.
Yeah.
Waiting for the call.
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
No, seriously, I was almost asleep and then it started ringing.
I'm sorry to wake you, sir.
No, I wasn't sleeping. I was just lying on the bed, naked.
Were you starting to have sexy dreams? Were you starting to see a big old pair of titties in your mind?
Did you dream of blunts, bitches, and big screen TV?
Kind of humping the pillow a little.
No, I was fucking your head.
Okay.
You were fucking his head?
You were fucking my head. Were you fucking one of the existent holes in my head, or did you put a new hole in my head to fuck?
He was teleporting his cock to fuck your head, basically.
So it was cock. It was a cock teleportation head fuck.
Yes.
I thought I was wondering why I was getting a migraine.
And he was like,
it all makes sense now.
He kind of moved his head a lot too, like this. He kept going like, what the hell? What's going on?
Maybe your dick is so small you're just fucking one of the pores in my nose. I don't know. What's going on, buddy? What's your question?
So what do you think about long distance relationships?
I'm not. I mean, you know, you seem like a nice guy and everything, but I'm just.
Yeah, I know.
That was a great response.
Okay.
You know, I'm just not looking for anything serious right now. I'm sorry.
Okay, and I also have a few more little questions.
Uh-huh.
And also I want to point it out that I'm from Slovakia, because I know that in the last show you have one Czech there.
Uh-huh.
I know that you like animes and overpowered characters, or you were saying it in one video. So do you know Tengen Toppa Lagann, because that is fucking overpowered anime full. Basically in the last episode they are using galaxies as bullets for their spaceships. And shit like that.
I'm just gonna come right out and say that I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
We
lost like several crucial words during that, and I think that it's just like, what are you asking us? If we like what? There's some I know there's bullets. There's galaxy-sized bullets, but that's all I know. That's pretty much what I gleaned from that.
Okay, I will talk slowly.
Okay.
If you know anime named Tengen Toppa Lagann, because
okay, right now, I'm lost. Because here's what I heard. If you know, I'm in the.
He said, "Do you know anime?"
Yeah.
Anime. What?
I heard him that time.
What's the name of the anime now?
TJ is wasted. He can't.
It's what? What is it called? The anime is what?
Tengen Toppa Lagann.
We've never seen it.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is. I'm sorry. I wish I mean, if it has galaxy-sized bullets, it's probably pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy.
You know, I like that. I dig it. But you know, and there's spaceships apparently, so that sounds fun. So I mean, that's
I know that
I endorse it without ever having seen it. That's my opinion.
And also,
No. Also, we're just lucky to have gotten through those two. Let's just.
You're an ass.
Let's just kill it there.
You're an ass.
No, I'm not.
TJ, you're officially are a douchebag. It is official.
It's official now.
That's great. You don't speak proper English. Fuck off. America. Fuck yeah.
It was okay. Whatever.
Coming again to save the money.
No one understands my pain.
No one understands me. I could have been a contender.
No one knows what it's like to be a douchebag.
Name TJ.
Yeah.
On heroin.
What? You just up the ante again.
It's a gateway. I mean, well, pot is a gateway, so of course I do heroin. Come on. Who doesn't? Who doesn't do a little H every now and then? You know what I'm saying? You feel me, brothers? That was so the audience could give me a shout.
TJ, you're a fucking idiot.
Hey.
Hello. How you doing?
How are you?
I'm doing quite well, and how about yourselves?
You lack discipline.
I certainly
You lack
do.
discipline, apparently.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions.
Would you like
Who is
Scotty?
your daddy
Would you
and
like
what did
Scotty
you
to
do?
give you some discipline?
I wanted
yeah,
them answered immediately.
Yeah, Scotty, teach me and dominate me.
Okay, that sounds fun. Let's do it.
I don't think you have enough money for that.
What's up?
Yeah.
Ask your fucking question, faggot.
I was wondering.
Now! Now! No.
TJ, shut up so you can ask the question. Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
Yeah,
All right.
TJ, shut the fuck up.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's gotten into me.
I know what's gotten into you. I literally know what's gotten into you.
Me too. I know.
God damn it! I was trying to give a dramatic pause on it. I was gonna go there. Jeez.
It's all the alcohol in the pan.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Alleged
But,
pan.
but,
The alleged
Ben-
pan abuser. He abused the pan.
He abuses pan every day. He's not motivated. His life-
He's just so lazy and stupid and mean. Why? Ask your fucking question. What are you waiting for? Come on. Jeez,
this
dude, we're trying to run a show here.
For both.
If the callers don't ask questions, the show falls apart. You know what I'm saying? I know. I'm just.
Of course, yeah.
Go ahead.
Ben, this is for both you and Ben and TJ. Are there any any political, economic, religious, whatever views that you guys disagree with each other on? I was kind of curious.
Yeah, I mean, we've come across some disagreements here and there on the show.
Not very often.
Not really a lot. I mean, we kind of tend to all think alike, and it's, I guess, that's probably says something about us that might be bad, but it's not like we all got together and developed this point of view in a fucking, wind tunnel or something.
No, definitely not.
Like, Ben and I pretty much clicked on most issues when we first met, only I guess a year or so ago.
Mm-hmm.
And, me and Scotty, we and Scotty disagree on some things now and then. But, for the most part, we all kind of tend to think pretty closely in terms of our politics and our lack of religious beliefs.
I would say it's like a 90-10 split if you want to go to, try to make it so it's understandable to someone on the outside. Most times we agree, but there are issues we don't agree on. I can't think of any off the top of my head, to be honest, though. But, we argue all the time.
So we've decided to pull the trigger on this. Thanks for your question.
We're going to go ahead and give Galen a call, because Galen has a question. Nelag.
Hello? Hello?
Galen, I just realized your
Hey,
name
Galen.
backwards is Nelag.
Yeah?
That sounds pretty badass. You should start going by Nelag.
I am Nelag. Praise Nelag.
I think you
I
could
like that
cru-
idea.
Yeah, you could start Galen, if you were a wrestler, your finishing move would be gouging your opponent's eyes out and eating his heart.
Well, I'm as a child, that guy from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, that was my nickname by family members and everyone, because I was a vicious arguer, and they all said I was like that guy Mola Ram who would take people's hearts out.
That's awesome.
The other kids would go to the movie or watch Indiana Jones. They're like, "There you are," and I'm like, "What do you mean, like Indiana?" And they're like, "No, that guy, the guy who takes people." And I was like, "Are you trying to insult me?" And they're like, "No, you're just really like that guy." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, I like that movie and I like that character. He's really badass.
Yeah, ripping people's hearts out of their chests is pretty cool. There's no doubt about that. I don't think anyone looks at that and says that's lame. There's pretty much no one that disagrees that that's a pretty awesome ability to have. If I could rip people's hearts out, I'd be doing it on a daily basis.
Yeah, I mean, he got eaten by alligators, but until then, he was ripping people's hearts out and had a big hyena laugh. It didn't give a fuck.
I don't think he was ripped apart by the alligators. I think he ripped all their hearts out and crawled to safety.
Well, you know what? That could have happened. Like, anybody could do that. Why couldn't he defeat a bunch of alligators? He would have been
I mean,
like,
if you can rip a man's heart out with your bare hands, you at least stand a fucking chance against some alligators or crocodiles, whatever they were. I think they were crocodiles. Anyway,
So
you had a question about the Game of Thrones rape scene, I think.
Yeah, I wanted to get your opinion and about this because there's a big uproar. First, Slate, which has just been going on a radical feminist uproar by a lot of these atheists.
Well, Slate is like the radical feminist hub news site, anyway.
It really is. It's disgusting. But Salon, been putting out things on this. It was not the greatest scene. Everybody, I'm not spoiling anything for Game of Thrones, and I don't think TJ's caught up with it because I still have to send him like a big flash drive, or I'm going to buy him a hard drive if my flash drive keeps breaking.
Of completely legal copies.
They are all legal.
But this ain't going to spoil anything. There was a scene that people felt between the character Jaime Lannister and Cersei Lannister, who are brother and sister, that they felt that it was rape. Now, if you read the books, that's not what happens. He's not even supposed to be there, and they try to mash these scenes together. And adapting it is hard because George R.R. Martin does not write stories in a straightforward manner. He kind of seems to some people, but they're puzzles with mysteries where he plays all these literary effects. So if he can't show certain great characters like this Cold Hands character yet, because it would be too revealing. So they have to rewrite it a bit visually for the show. And this is one scene that didn't work out, and they wanted to make it kind of uncomfortable but ambiguous. Sadly, it came out to some people looking like rape, but it was not. And George R. R. Martin had said this is not how we intended this to come out, and there was conflict of visions, and this happens in a big production.
Sure, yeah. I mean, in any big collaborative storytelling effort, there's going to be certain things that, don't come across the way that they might have been intended.
Well, that happens with all arts. I know there are videos and productions that you and I have done, yourself have done, everyone involved here. There's something we've done that didn't get translated like we wanted to. And
sure, I mean, there's entire videos I've done where I realized that the point really comes across wrong. I mean, that's very easy to do.
I actually got a good point here. There was a time where TJ left this comment on Reddit where he was coming back at just showing how someone was actually advocating, this is going back for a whole year, advocating the murder and violence against men and children, even children. And TJ was like, well, you should be raped too. You can't advocate all this violence, so fuck you. And he said it only metaphorically, but it was just like, it was, kind of hyperbole bullshit. It didn't want serious, but of course it was used as that. And he was disgusted that because it was a big problem. So I wanted to know what you really thought about some of this, because they're going now not just saying that it's rape, it's kind of an advocation of rape culture. They're saying that maybe you should boycott the show.
Okay,
but furthermore, anyone who pulls for Jaime Lannister is pro-rape and is a pig.
Well, I mean, look, the character of Jaime Lannister, I'm not fully caught up on the show, as you said. I've watched the first season and most of the second season. But the character of Jaime Lannister is not exactly presented as a nice guy or moral role model in any way, shape, or form anyway.
I like it.
You can like him, sure, but it's not like this is the most despicable thing his character... even if it was rape, even if it was outright rape, it's not nearly the most despicable thing his character's done.
A show where...
this is there's violence, betrayal, backstabbing.
Yeah, people are killed all the time on this show. Like, feminists and other people, no problem with that. Like, army was slaughtered, that's fine.
Killed and tortured and everything else, and suffering horrendous psychological fates.
In the previous episode, there was a woman who was hunted down. And of course, it's alluded to, and actually in the books it's worse, she is raped. But she's fed to dogs after being tortured and hunted down by dogs and then eaten alive by dogs. Yeah. As they watch and enjoy it. And they're like laughing like, oh yeah, look at that. And you can hear the dogs like ripping her apart. And then actually in the books, it's actually even more violent. The character of Ramsay Bolton rapes. He hunts women and down, rapes them. Then he has this other a pre-Reek character who then and Ramsey kills them, and then he gives them to Reek, who then rapes their corpses and eats them. But of course, they don't protest that at all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that'll be in the HBO series.
No, it's not going to be on HBO for sure.
But yeah, I mean, like it's just kind of strange that this is the point where so many people are suddenly objecting to this content. I mean, there seems like I obviously don't object to anything in art, but
what about rape? This is one of their big arguments. Rape as character development is disgusting and should be protested.
So do they not believe that rape actually exists in the real world?
I guess
they said that it can only be in a way that politically respects actual rape survivors.
They don't get to dictate the content of art just because they're offended by something.
Well, not only that, they're dictating that anyone who pulls for Jamie or a certain character or something that happens that they feel is politically incorrect or politically
this is a story.
This is a work of fiction to begin with.
Okay, this is a work of fiction, and like rooting for Jamie Lannister no more means you support rape than rooting for Darth Vader means you support genocide. I mean, it's just silly.
Or child killing.
Right, exactly. I mean, there's you can like a fictional character and identify with a fictional character without necessarily endorsing all of the behaviors of that character. And on top of that, this entire story takes place in the context of a fantasy realm that's not directly analogous to the world that we live in.
You know, I like bananas. I just don't want to put my mouth in your ass.
Yeah, exactly. I guess that makes sense. Maybe.
Yeah.
Bananas and ass makes sense to TJ.
I mean, Ben, do you like bananas?
Yes, I do like bananas.
Do you want to put your mouth in TJ's ass?
Well,
no.
He's going to lie about that, obviously.
Oh,
Scotty, what about you?
Galen, you know the fucking answer to the question.
Yeah, I couldn't help it.
Yeah, Galen, don't even go there on that one.
Yeah,
I may have to slap you, Galen. Sorry.
In person, I would have just Scotty would have come up to me and raised his fist, and I would have been like, I'm sorry, Scotty. I offended thee. Yeah, but I just had to raise this about Game of Thrones.
It's definitely a very interesting situation, and probably more telling about the people making the objection than they would care for it to be.
I mean, it's completely ridiculous to look at a work of fiction and say this endorses rape. It does not endorse rape. This is part of the storyline, and as Galen pointed out, it was adapted from the original work. And I mean, if the storytellers in HBO and people felt that was the best way to get across what they want to do in the story, that's how they did it. But I mean, they certainly weren't sitting there saying this endorses rape. Ha ha ha! Jamie Lannister's a great person and rape is awesome. No one said that.
No one did, absolutely.
Yeah.
And actually, they clarified. The writers, the director, the producers, and even Martin himself did, and they continue to strawman them.
Oh, of course.
Well, that's their MO.
Well, that's the thing is art, people, whatever it is all of this is to be used and manipulated for their propaganda to get their ideological views across. That's the only thing they care about. In my
All right,
opinion.
Galen, we're about to wrap up the show, so we're going to have to let you go now. Hopefully, you'll be joining us next week.
Yeah, join us next week and we continue these kind of discussions.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Take it easy, Galen.
All right, so guys, the Drunken Peasants show is coming to a close. I don't know if Ben has any announcements or anything he wants to make before we wrap things up.
No, nothing really.
Our announcement is, send us out of your weed.
Hey, 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 hey. Send us pan every day. Woo!
Thank you.